Tonight, the pressure of gold weighs heavy, and the path to history runs through the mat. Two champions stand ready to make the first defenses of their reigns, and challengers step forward determined to take everything. Two divisions, two belts, and four athletes willing to risk it all for glory. In the main event, Bantamweight champion Mikey Musumeci returns to the spotlight with his puzzling guard. A five-time IBJJF world champion, Musumeci looks to walk out not only with his title intact, but with Keven Carrasco's leg in his grasp.
There's a tap! Oh! And new Mikey Musumeci!
Will Carrasco, a fearless challenger with the will to drag the fight into chaos, face Mikey's guard face-on with this fast-paced top game? Or will he look to match him with his relentless submissions from guard? Musumeci seeks to preserve his legacy. Carrasco seeks to shatter it.
Oh, there's a tap. Nicely done, Keven Carrasco.
And in the co-main event, lightweight champion Carlos Henrique makes his first defense against the dangerous Matheus Gabriel. Finishing his last three opponents, Enrique's rise to the belt has been meteoric.
There's the tap! It is over!
Yet Gabriel brings championship pedigree of his own, armed with precision, experience, and a history of breaking opponents' will. For Enrique, it's about proving his reign is real. For Gabriel, it's about taking the crown for himself. The belts are waiting. The moment is now. Two champions, two challengers, four men with everything to gain and nothing to give. Live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is UFC BJJ 3.
We welcome you live to Fight Week in the Desert. UFC stars and celebrities are here in Las Vegas, Nevada for a jam-packed schedule leading up to UFC 320 on Saturday. Tonight, it's the best grapplers in the world taking center stage with two championship belts on the line. This is a new brand of action-packed, fast-paced, nowhere-to-run jiu-jitsu. It is time to roll inside the bowl. These arrivals are fueled by Lucy. Don't grapple with pouches that tap out early. Visit lucy.co to find a retailer near you. Well, here he is, the face of our sport, Bantamweight champion Mikey Musumeci, making his way inside the Apex. He won the belt on the very first UFC BJJ 1, and tonight he prepares for his first title defense. And this is the man looking to take the belt away, undefeated UFC BJJ competitor Keven Carrasco. Now, he also won on that first ever card just over 3 months ago, getting the first round finish with a triangle choke. Now, everyone in the Bantamweight division, they're looking for a shot at Musumeci, and tonight, it is Carrasco getting his chance. Thanks for joining us live on YouTube from the world-famous UFC Apex, not far from the Vegas Strip. This is UFC BJJ 3. We welcome you inside the bowl, and I am hyped and excited to be back with my guys. Alongside Michael Chiesa, Dean Thomas, I'm John Trippin. Well, fellas, the first two events, we saw over 6.4 million viewers tune in live to watch the next generation of grapplers. All the winners, we have seen their social media following explode. So as the sport of UFC, it grows, it is only fitting that tonight we decide to grow here with it. Michael, we are seeing history here tonight. The biggest card we have ever had, 9 matches, including 2 titles up for grabs.
I mean, it's just a big week altogether. We had Dana White's Contender Series a couple days ago. We got Power Slap on Friday. We got UFC 320. But tonight, it's UFC BJJ 3. We got 9 matches, and I love what Claudia Gadelha is doing with this promotion. She is bringing in some of the best gi players in the world. We're getting the superstars in the no-gi world. That's a no-brainer, but she's bringing in some of the best gi players, and you are going to see some of them compete tonight, as well as 2 title fights. This card's absolutely stacked, Dean.
Yeah, UFC BJJ is my favorite program that the UFC is putting out right now. And what a great week to start it off, UFC 320. Not only is the UFC BJJ informative for the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but it's also entertaining. We're going to see people get strangled, and we're going to see some limbs being broke, and I'm here for it.
All right, I know everybody's excited. Let's take a look at the stacked card here tonight, and it is headlined by the biggest name in the sport, Michael Musumeci, taking on Keven Carrasco, looking for the biggest win in his career. Michael, what is it about Musumeci that makes him so special?
It's his technical prowess, his attention to detail. He has a guard that's almost impossible to pass. Very few have done it, and it's his leg lock game. He is constantly on the attack of your legs. He's got devastating heel hooks. He will also use those leg entanglements to take your back, using those barambolos. Just all around, it's the technical proficiency, and it was completely on display when he took on Gabriel, got the heel hook submission, got the title. Now he's looking to defend it against Keven Carrasco. This is going to be a fun main event.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Michael Musumeci is going to be very difficult to beat, and Keven Carrasco knows what's ahead of him. But he has a strategy. He says he's going to be physical. Now in boxing, we say we box a brawler and we brawl a boxer. He's got to get out there and try to brawl Mikey Musumeci to get him off of his game. If he can get him off of his game, we know how proficient Keven Carrasco is with his submissions. Look at this TP choke against his opponent here at the UFC BJJ on Fight Pass. This guy is a submission specialist, but he's got to get Mikey off of his game, and he intends to do that with pressure.
All right, let's talk about our co-main event. It is going to be the first title defense for lightweight champ Carlos Henrique. Now, he's also a new dad, so he said he is bringing that newfound dad strength here inside the bowl, and he's going to need that tonight as he takes on black belt world champion Matheus Gabriel, who is making his UFC debut. Dean, what do you like about this matchup?
Oh, I love watching Carlos Henrique compete. He is an absolute star, and he's a champion, and he knows it, and for good reason, because what he had to do in order to get that belt, he had to go through 3 very tough opponents in that house, and now he's here, he's the champion, and he's walking around with a chip on his shoulder. He has a pace that not many can match, and he's going to need every bit of that tonight if he wants to retain that belt.
Yeah, and on the other side, you got Matheus Gabriel, the 3-time world champion. Listen, he is going to need heart and determination to get past Carlos Henrique, and he has displayed that throughout the course of his career. He had to have reconstructive surgery on his knee, and had everybody in the jiu-jitsu competition world saying, this guy is done. Then he goes on to win the 2025 World Championship in the finals. He defeated Andy Murasaki, who we will see tonight. So it's going to take grit, heart, and determination for him to take that belt from Carlos Henrique, and he has all of that and then some.
All right, since the last time we saw the champ Carlos Henrique, a lot has changed in his life. To get us caught up, we welcome in for the first time tonight, Morgan Worth.
Well, John, outside of the normal increase in exposure and opportunities that comes alongside being the first ever UFC BJJ champion, Carlos Henrique's life underwent a whirlwind of changes. Since his victory in June, the Brazilian turned dream into reality, purchasing several acres of land about 30 minutes from his home in Lumberton, Texas, with future plans of building a farm. But that's not all. 14 days ago, he and his wife Cam welcomed their first child, Daniela May. And with the challenges that come alongside balancing fatherhood and training for a championship match, the lightweight considered pulling out of tonight's event. But with a blessing and some encouragement from his wife, the black belt steps into the bowl with a renewed purpose and newfound dad strength. So despite a few sleepless nights, CH7 is fully focused on his first ever title defense against fellow countryman Matheus Gabriel. Now that's before he turns around in just 24 days to make his amateur MMA debut. John, with a lot of opportunities on the horizon, a growing family, and of course, his belt on the line, Carlos Henrique is here to prove he is stronger and more motivated than ever.
A lot of incentive for him tonight, Morgan. Good stuff. All right, if you are new to UFC BJJ, no problem. That's what we're here for. We're going to get you caught up. Here's the rules. We got a 3 judges who will score the bout. It is a 10-point mud scoring system. Now, you got to bring it for the entire 3. We have 3 5-minute rounds if there isn't a submission. And here's the criteria. Number 1, are you trying to end the bout? Number 2, are you having effective action? If you don't see any of those, the judges go to the 3rd. Are you controlling the action? That's how it will be decided here tonight in the bowl. All right, now that we're all up to speed, let's get this party started. Here is the first of 9 matches here tonight. Jalen Fonacier followed up his IBJJF World Championship triumph with a submission victory in his UFC BJJ debut in July. Now the future looks to earn another victory as he takes on Pedro Nakano. 22-year-old Pedro Nakano, you can see he is hyped. The Brazilian making his walk in. He was born in Brazil, but then his family moved to Japan early in his life to find a better life for himself. He got hooked on jiu-jitsu, but he had to find enough money in order to move to the United States. He worked in a food and can factory in order to make that happen. He said it was the most boring year of my life, but you see he has so much dedication, and it's taken him a long way to get here.
Yeah, and it takes that dedication. And for this guy, sorry, Dean, that's you.
Yeah, son. Training with my boy Jay-Z at Fight Sports down in South Florida. This man has a very well-rounded game. Good leg locks, he's good on top, good passer, but the thing about his passing is he's not always necessarily looking to pass and control. He will jump right through your guard in order to lock up a submission. That always makes for exciting, entertaining matchups. I'm looking forward to seeing how he approaches this match against Jalen. Yeah, I think this guy's got a lot of skills, and he's significantly bigger than Jalen Fonacier, so this will be interesting.
And his opponent, the 20-year-old from Los Angeles, California, Jalen Fonacier. Once again, he is starting off the night because this guy provides the highlights. He had the quickest sub we have seen yet at 67 seconds. And Michael, he said, my goal here tonight, he said, I'm trying to beat that. I'm trying to get it under a minute here tonight.
Well, if he can repeat what he did against Everton Teixeira at UFC BJJ 2, that would be very impressive. And in that match, we saw him come out with that flying scissor trip takedown and immediately get into these leg entanglements. Got inverted to the outside Ashi and got the quick tap with the inside heel hook. But listen, he said this match, like he says, he wants to come out, wants to get a faster submission than the last time he was out here. But he's not one to go for points. He's always looking for the finish, but he wants to get the flyweight division going. He wants to put the 125-pounders on the map and get a title going there. So if he can go out there, get another fast submission, give these fly guys a chance to capture a title, he could do that.
He trains with Mikey Musumeci, who is in his corner here tonight. All right, it is time to take a look at the tail of the tape. It is Nakano, the older of the two, with a height advantage. The American taking on the Brazilian, and our first match of the night. Let's go to Justin Bernard to get this one started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UFC BJJ 3, Musumeci versus Carrasco, live from the UFC Apex on UFC Fight Pass and YouTube. Our first match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Bantamweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, with an official weight of 134 pounds, out of Fight Sports, Deerfield Beach, Florida, Pedro Nakano. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 134 pounds, out of Cobrinha, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Los Angeles, California, Jalen, the future Fonacier. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
First round, you ready? You ready? Fight!
Here they go, drop it into the ball. It is Pedro Nakano in the blue, Jalen Fonacier in the black and red. And immediately it is Nakano on top. Nakano said, I'm probably the most unknown of everybody on this card. He has something to prove here early, Michael.
Well, he has the opportunity to do that because Jalen Fonacier, he's made waves with that first match, the UFC BJJ 2. And you can see as Jalen right now looking to invert and get to those legs. You can see he's been training with Mikey Musumeci by the way he's approaching these leg entanglements, Dean.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that I would expect from Jalen. And he pulled guard early. Like I said, I thought he was at a size disadvantage. He probably didn't want to stand too long with Pedro and said, you know what, let me pull guard and get to work automatically. And that's exactly what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and for Pedro being the longer guy, that's more real estate for Jalen to work with. And when I say more real estate, that means his limbs are longer, his body's bigger. There's more surface area for Jalen to attach himself to when attacking these limbs.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how they deal with this 50-50 position right here in the leg entanglement.
Nice, you're exposing the heel. You have it. You have it.
All right, so we're already deeper than Jalen Fonacier went in his first.
He's got the heel.
A quick finish for Jalen Fonacier. Moves to 2-0 here in UFC BJJ.
Yeah, this is what we can expect from a guy like Jalen Fonacier. We knew how good he was, how quick he was. This guy's been competing all his life. Right away, he didn't want to play. He inverts, pulls guard, and gets his offense going right away. Look at this. Him trying to set up an armbar here. But now we see these guys in a 50-50 position. Jalen Fonacier he got the 50-50 position, isolates a leg. You see him isolating the leg, gets the inside heel hook against Pedro Nakano, and forces the tap here. Gets a good bite on that heel, look at this. And there, it's all she wrote right there. Jalen Fonacier, dangerous from the 50-50, gets the inside heel hook, and it's all she wrote.
Let's go to make this official back to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission, Jalen, the future Fonacier.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm with your winner, Jalen Fonacier. Congratulations, back-to-back heel hooks, back-to-back UFC BJJ events. You have to be pretty happy with that performance.
Of course, I've been training so hard for this. My main goal with this match was to show my jiu-jitsu, show that I fight forward. I only go for the finish, and then also to show these people, like, what I do is not fun and games. This guy said he was going to come steal the show, come steal my hype, but, you know, I'm a world champion, pan champion. What I do, I don't play around.
Well, you certainly showed that the hype around you is real. You got a couple teammates competing here tonight. How important was it for you to get the show started on a good note?
Man, you got to imagine I have ADCC veteran Kennedy and world champion Mikey in my corner, and then Cobrinha guiding us all. So with that training room and the intensity we have, it only made it easier for me to come here today and get the job done.
Well, speaking about Mikey, he is the champ in your division, and I know your teammates, and you don't really want to compete against him. So what would you like next?
Mikey's the champion. I'm not going to fight Mikey. He helped me so much. Let's make a 125 division. Any 125er out there, ready to bang, ready to go. Let's do it. I've showed that I can put on a show. I can push forward on the fight. Let's do it.
Well, I would certainly like to see you at 125. Ladies and gentlemen, 2-0 at UFC BJJ. Jalen Fonacier.
Just 20 years old. This young man is so impressive. Another quick stop here in round number 1. And he said he's getting used to being this new fame, that he has had all this attention ever since appearing on UFC BJJ, but it has not gone to his head. Continues to grind on the mats, and he's also staying in school. He's a junior in college studying entrepreneurship. Catch more of MMA's top prospects in action this month on UFC Fight Pass. We've got stacked cards from marquee promotions including Cage Warriors, Cage Fury, LFA, Fury FC, and more. Don't miss your chance to see tomorrow's stars today, streaming live on UFC Fight Pass. Well, match 2 is our first women's action of the night, and these locker room shots are brought to you by Hayabusa. In jiu-jitsu, lessons come at you fast, but wisdom takes time. Hayabusa equips you for the journey that shapes you. To set the stage, we send it back to Morgan.
Thanks, John. Action heats up next as 21-year-old Shy Lilly enters her UFC BJJ debut with a guard game built to crush anyone at the 125 division. The social media sensation is ready to start the night off strong for her 10th Planet team when she faces 25-year-old black belt Ana Mayordomo. With a reputation as a relentless submission hunter, the Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu product brings a well-rounded game, elite leg lock, and comes with the chance to become Spain's next breakout star. All that and more coming up next here at UFC BJJ 3.
It's that time of year again. The time when the bizarre meets brutality. The time when skill, size, strength, and even sanity are all up for debate.
We partnered with Zach Bagans in the Haunted Museum once again to bring you Fright Pass all month long. No rules, no logic, just violence.
If you're scared, you shouldn't have signed up. You shouldn't have signed up. You're in a place to be scared.
Oh, my elbows. Oh, that's it. Oh, that's it. Roll call.
Next up, an American who went all in as a teenager to make jiu-jitsu her life. Now, nearly 200,000 Instagram follows are along for her journey every step of the way. Up and coming, Lilly aims to make a splash in her UFC BJJ debut. Standing in her way is 2025 ADCC European Trials winner, Mayordomo. Match 2 of the night. Here come the ladies. Mayordomo, 25 years old from Spain. She became the first Spaniard to win the ADCC European Trials. And Dean, she did it in impressive fashion. She did it with a 100% submission rate.
Yeah, she did. And let's talk about them submissions. Mike, listen to the diversity of these submissions. She had 4 subs, a mounted guillotine, ankle lock, a mirror lock, and a straight arm lock. She's super diverse in her attack. Now, she's from Colorado, but now she trains with John Danaher in Austin. And she says training with him has changed her game because he relies on consistency, time on the mat, and quality of movement. Now, when you got that type of pedigree with John Danaher, Gordon Ryan, and her original coach, Elliot Marshall, doesn't get any better than that.
It really doesn't. And that European run, that ADC's European run was incredible. Those 4 submissions, it was remarkable.
A lot of excitement for the 21-year-old making her way to the bowl, Lilly from right here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, her last match on UFC Fight Pass, she was a 24-hour replacement. She said it was late notice. I didn't even expect myself to win. Now she has had a month and a half to prepare for this. She said, my confidence is a very different place. I want to win this one here tonight, Michael.
Yeah, and you know, throughout the course of this camp, she's been working a lot of leg locks, a lot of passing, and it's been a tough camp, and it's been fun. But when you look at her overall game, she's just got a good guard. She's really good at baiting her opponents to go for underhooks. When they go for those underhooks, she'll catch those mirror locks, and she'll turn those mirror locks into armbar attempts. So she just has a very, very dangerous guard. She almost gives her opponents space and opportunities to capitalize on what they think is something where they're taking ground from her, but essentially she's setting traps for her to catch these submissions.
Since the 9th grade, she has been a full-time athlete, and she is all in for this moment here tonight. It is time to look at the tail of the tape in match number 2, the women's flyweight. It is Mayordomo, the older of the two, but it is Lilly with the height advantage. It is the American taking on the Spaniard. And we go to Justin Bernard to get it started.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the women's flyweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner with an official weight of 125 pounds. Out of Kingsway Jiu-Jitsu, Austin, Texas, Mayordomo. And now introducing her opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 124.5 pounds. Out of 10th Planet, Las Vegas, Nevada, Lilly. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight. Let's go.
Match number 2 underway. Mayordomo in the blue, Lilly in the black and red.
Yup, you can do it. You can do it.
You are going to hear Elliot Marshall all night long. He might be the loudest corner man in the business.
Yeah, he is. Between him and Matt Serra, how you can't compete with that?
Yes.
Oh, and you can see right now, Anna was on that front choke. Just going back to it again.
Yep. Right hand, great. Yep.
And this is a good start for Anna Mayordomo to stay out of the full guard of Lilly. Now she doesn't have to contend with those long limbs, at least both of them at the same time.
Yeah, she's got to keep from getting to that knee shield as well, because will catch that mirror lock from the knee shield, and she's doing a good job of just trying to keep that top leg separated from her. She doesn't want to get that top leg to be in front of her. She wants to keep the legs separated. She wants to be in between them in the half guard. And she's dropping back for this straight ankle lock right now. She might have it. What Shy needs to do is she's got to try to roll through. She's got to try to turn her heel towards the armpit to defend and keep her toes pointed up. It's very imperative you keep your toes pointed up and you try to turn your heel towards the armpit. When you get the heel towards the armpit, you can essentially create enough space to kick your foot out.
What does that do, pointing the toes up? Why is that so essential?
It's dorsal flexing, because a lot of these footlocks, you want to try to bend the toes towards the heels. So imagine trying to take the bottom of your toes and get it to touch your heel. That's a very painful thing. So you want to dorsal flex. You want to point your toes to your face and create some flexion in your calf. And it makes it a lot harder for them to fold that toe down. You want to keep the dorsal flex. Keep your toes pointed towards the ceiling.
This match is fueled by Lucy. Don't grapple with pouches that tap out early. Lucy Breaker's long-lasting flavor dominates the competition. Visit lucy.co to find a retailer near you.
Up. That a girl. Keep framing her away, Shine. Yep.
Just over 2 minutes passed here in this first round.
We got 250 work here, Anna.
We have 3 5-minute rounds here in UFC BJJ.
You can slice hard if you want here. Good.
You can see right now, Anna's got that topside underhook, almost trying to drape over Shai. And Shai's trying to work that knee shield right now. She turns that knee shield into a butterfly hook with her left foot.
Yeah, and that was to prevent the knee cut. As you could hear Elliot Marshall saying, cut hard, but that butterfly hook will prevent that knee cut.
On the head, on the pass. On the head, on the pass. Go ahead, be a bully a little bit. Yes.
You hear the blue corner of Mayordomo say, be a bully a little bit, be a little more aggressive trying to get the pass here.
And she did. I love that side-to-side movement, that pass on the outside. She is essentially, she misdirected Shy Lilly, and now she might be attacking the Dars. And this is a scenario where the slope of the bowl can sometimes work for you or against you, because if this is a flat surface, maybe she was able to catch that Dars, but essentially they roll back towards the center. Now she's just kind of working from this front headlock position. She's looking to go for the armbar, but falls off the top. Beautiful sequence for both of these ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to give a lot of props to Shy Lilly, who's showing more to her game than just a triangle game. In the past, we saw her just showing triangles, but she's doing a lot more in this. And now she gets an opportunity to show how well she can pass.
And the thing is, too, with her being from 10th Planet, like the 10th Planet Las Vegas is different than most 10th Planet gyms. There's such an emphasis on wrestling and top control. There's more to her game than just her guard, and I would like to see her showcase that tonight.
Have you ever been to that room, that open mat on 10th Planet? There's not a space on the floor in the open mat on a Sunday in 10th Planet Las Vegas.
It's like grappling on ice skates. It's so sweaty.
Lilly admitted, she said a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to take anybody down, but ever since joining 10th Planet, she said, my wrestling game has gone to a whole new level.
Well, that's what happens when you train under Andy Varela, who we're going to see next. Andy Varela is an incredible wrestler, lots of slide-bys, very dynamic style. And here goes Anna Mayordomo, go for this armbar. She might have it. She's got to roll her head towards the feet.
There's Anna Mayordomo gets the finish here in this first round. The impressive performance from the Spaniard.
No judges needed on that one. And we look at this. We see this passing pressure. She grips the face to keep Shy Lilly from being able to turn over. She gets this north-south position, then just kind of runs Shy Lilly back to the mat. And now we see her, she had lassoed the leg into the guard here, and she sets up this arm bar from her guard, from that lasso position. Belly down arm bar. You can't really see the extension because it is a belly down arm bar, but there's very tight arm bar, belly down. And once she starts to put that back flexion in it here, as she pushes her hips forward, can't escape that, an inescapable position. Anna Mayordomo victorious.
All right, let's go to Justin Bernard to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vitor Shaolin calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission, Anna Mayordomo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Anna Mayordomo. Congratulations, you were flowing beautifully. I mean, you started with the front choke, you went to the legs, you got the armbar. How good does that feel?
Oh, I mean, feels awesome. Sorry, catching my breath. It feels awesome to show, I think, the kind of jiu-jitsu that all the fans want to see. Feels really good on a big platform like this to show what we can do, show that jiu-jitsu can be exciting, you can keep the pace going. So yeah, feeling really good about that.
Well, you said earlier this week you only recently started considering yourself an athlete. And What does a win on a platform like this say about your journey in this sport?
Oh, I mean, it means everything. My corners, that's my professor since day one. Elliot Marshall out in Denver. Started 8 years ago, moved to Austin 2 years ago to train with Kingsway, Gordon Ryan and John Danaher. That move changed my life. So really grateful to my team in Austin, my team in Denver, and just to be able to showcase all that work on a platform like this.
Is this a platform you might want to return to?
Absolutely, anytime.
Love that. That's a mic drop. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Spain well. Oh, yeah, one more thing.
In Spanish? Awesome. A todos los hispanohablantes que estéis viendo y sobre todo a los españoles, que sé que es súper tarde ahora mismo, os lo agradezco muchísimo. He sentido todo el apoyo y espero que sigáis apoyando a UFC BJJ y a la UFC en general, así que muchas gracias.
Can I get the translation?
Yeah, just thanked everyone. Thank all the Spanish speakers, especially those back home in Spain, because it's, I believe, like 2:30 a.m. or something back home. So, and then I just asked them to keep supporting Jiu-Jitsu, UFC BJJ especially, and that's it.
Wonderful message. You represented Spain well tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ana Mayordomo.
Shout out to everyone in Spain who is up early this morning watching us live here on YouTube. For Ana Mayordomo, comes from a family of doctors, but she took up the sport of jiu-jitsu at 16 years old to try to carve her own path. And she said, a win tonight, I want to prove to people, no matter what age you start, if you stick to the plan, you can make it happen.
Defends the title.
There's nobody else, so we definitely got to run it back again.
The rematch that we have all been waiting for. Oh, the Butcher does it. We have a new champion of the world.
Me and Isaiah are levels above everybody in this division. I want the biggest match in power slap history. Let's do it again.
Here we go. For the first time ever, we have a trilogy. The Butcher is all business. The Puerto Rican pretty boy on an absolute mission.
They're going to slap each other's heads off. Let's go!
My goodness. Oh, Turf Daddy Slim!
But make no mistake, that man has a chin.
History is being made once again from the beautiful Fontainebleau, Las Vegas.
Get ready for this. Here we go!
UFC BJJ 3 is brought to you by Hayabusa. The battles you choose shape who you are. Hayabusa, crafted for warriors, built for your fight. Visit HayabusaFight.com to learn more. By Fight ID. Ready for next level fandom? Claim your Fight ID now to experience the ultimate fan rewards. Follow Fight ID on X or visit fight.id. By Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. In your corner with unlimited data that won't slow you down. And by Lucy, a presenting partner of UFC BJJ. Don't grapple with pouches that tap out early. Visit lucy.co to find a retailer near you. Undefeated as an amateur MMA fighter, this next athlete decided 6 years ago to change his path and dedicate his life, his true love of grappling. After competing for the inaugural UFC BJJ welterweight title in June, Andy Varela makes his return this evening, facing off with 24-year-old Brazilian Daniel Sathler. The Brazilian Daniel Sathler makes the walk here into the bowl. Said he grew up near the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, and he got into the sport to stay out of trouble. His dad drove a taxi all day from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., didn't have much money, but taught him and showed him perseverance. He said, that is something I have learned and stuck with me my entire life. And Michael, a chance for the biggest win of his career here tonight. Excuse me, Dean.
Yeah, well, he's a representative of the art of jiu-jitsu, so he's training with the Mendez brothers out in California, so he he comes from royalty in jiu-jitsu. But he says he's here to entertain people. Now, I've watched him compete live, and that's exactly what he does. I've watched him climb up the wall, jump off and hit a flying triangle armbar sequence. And he's done that multiple times in matches where he just jumps into submissions off of his feet. He's very exciting, very entertaining, and I expect him to come out here and do nothing different because this is the biggest stage that he's ever going to compete on up to this date. So I expect him to come out here and give Andy Varela a run for his money.
That Matheus Costa match when he went for that flying triangle, he almost knocked himself out. That was crazy.
Almost knocked himself out trying to do a flying triangle.
His opponent here in match number 3 in the welterweight division. Andy Varela. He's got the swag. He's got the energy. 33-year-old who lives here in Las Vegas, Nevada. He is a veteran of the Brazilian jiu-jitsu game. The relentless wrestling and pressure. He's looking to take your back. Now, we saw him get submitted by Andrew Tackett by rear naked choke in the first round on the first ever UFC BJJ 1. But that's because Andy Varela brings the excitement, brings the energy. He wants to have an exciting match.
Oh, Andy Varela, listen, this is a guy that thrives in the chaos. He loves a high-paced match. And if he can get to his short offense from the front headlock, he's got dangerous front chokes. He's got great go-behinds. He's a very, very dynamic grappler. And, oh, yeah, let's not to mention, he's from 10th Planet, so he's got a very, very dangerous guard as well. So if Andy can perform at his best, if he is sound between the ears, I think he could get himself back into title contention and take another crack at Tackett for a third time.
Started grappling when he was 20 years old to improve his MMA game, but realized that this was his path. We look at the tail of the tape, and it is Varela, the older of the two, but he does have the height advantage. Let's see how he will use that. The American taking on the Brazilian here for match number 3. Let's go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner with an official weight of 170 pounds out of AOJ, Costa Mesa, California, Daniel Sathler. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in officially at 169 pounds, out of 10th Planet, Las Vegas, Nevada, Andy Varela. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
First round. Fighter, you ready? You ready? Fight!
Here they go, dropping in for match number 3. Daniel Sathler in the blue, Andy Varela in the black and the red. And guys, you can hear immediately, this is a home game for Andy Varela. Dean, he has got the crowd on his side here tonight.
He's got the crowd on his side, but here he goes already with that front headlock, his most dangerous position. But one thing about Andy that makes him really dangerous is he's out to rumble. He comes to rumble every time, and he bullies these, what he calls these jiu-jitsu guys. And he's been so successful doing that, is putting them in positions that make them uncomfortable to be able to take advantage of them.
You know, I've trained with Andy Varela extensively, and this is the worst position you want to be in with him as he's trying to work this Darce. Look at the way he's trying to drop his right shoulder in to get a lock on that Darce. These two styles, this is the perfect match because Sathler's got a lot of the same skills that Andy does. The willingness to take chances and kind of put themselves in harm's way to get the win and to please the crowd. Two guys with very crowd-pleasing styles. This match is going to be fireworks no matter what.
Sathler told us in preparing for this match, he said, for the first time ever in my career, I trained with a very specific opponent in mind. So for my camp, I brought in a guy who's a little longer, has the limbs that are similar to Andy Varela to be ready for this style here tonight.
Well, you're going to have to. Like, you don't want to be surprised by a style like Andy Varela because he's so strong at that. Like, we saw that front headlock attempt earlier, and he's so good in that position that if you're not prepared for it, he's going to catch you.
And if you're a guy that is a jiu-jitsu guy, if you're willing to stand and trade with Andy on the feet, if you don't have a wrestling background, you are going to get hit with hard hands. You are going to get hit with those clubs, and you are constantly going to get caught in this position in wrestling that we call short offense. And that's when you are offensively wrestling somebody from that front headlock.
And as we see, you see Andy just pushing him up the wall of the bowl. And again, that's just a tactic to bully him, try to intimidate him, to see if he can't get him to just start being a little hesitant, have some trepidation in the offense of Daniel Sathler.
And the more that Andy gives him those hard hands, if Daniel tries to posture out of them, he's going to open himself up to where his hips are available for those double legs, for those single legs. Those are very much within Andy's arsenal as well. I almost called him Anthony because Anthony Pettis is sitting right in front of me.
Puffco, the concentrate experience perfected.
Stop. Watch your heads. Be gentle. Ready?
Yeah, Varela with the 4-piece.
Yeah, the 4-piece. But you see, but it's not shaking Sathler up yet. I mean, he's still like, I'm in your face. I know you're going to be rough, and this is what I'm here for.
And I think Andy's doing it just to get him out of position. He wants to frustrate Daniel. Daniel's got to, for a dynamic grappler, he does a good job at staying composed in these chaotic matches. And I think that Andy's just trying to just kind of crack the facade a little bit and just try to get him out of position.
And now we see Sathler returning some fire here.
Sit down on that overhand right.
He sat down on that overhand, didn't he?
Okay, collar ties, not strikes. Ready, go.
But this is good, though. This is exactly what I feel like jiu-jitsu needs, is a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, it needs to be physical. It's a combat sport.
Under 2 minutes to go here in this first round.
Andy, we got 2 minutes of work. You can go mercy groups as well. You don't always have to overtime.
Using the scoring criteria, Michael, what are you seeing? Who is leading this first round so far?
I mean, definitely Andy Varela, and I say that unbiasedly because I've trained with him. I have to clear the air on that, but just that first opening sequence when he was able to club Daniel into that front headlock position and start to attack those front chokes. No, not any really close attempts, but definitely constitutes a 10-9, but we still have, just over a minute left, and a lot can happen in a 5-minute match when there's that much time left.
Yeah, a big move from either man can really secure this round, I feel.
Or I should say a 5-minute round, not a 5-minute match. Excuse me.
Oh, Andy Varela trying to play games with Sathler now here as we approach a minute to go in this first round.
You're gonna find that moment.
Again, and that's just Andy Varela just being a little bit rougher, being a little bit more unconventional than what jiu-jitsu guys are used to, especially if you train in a gi, because when you train in a gi, you're certainly not used to this type of thing.
And if I'm Daniel Sathler, what I need to do to stop getting hit with such hard hands, you've got to move side to side because he's moving forward and back. When he steps forward, that's when Andy's clubbing him, and that's when those hard hands is making him come down on his hands and making it break his posture. If I'm Daniel Sathler, start moving side to side. Don't just move linearly. You got to move side to side to take away some of those hard hands and those snap down situations that Andy Varela is creating.
But then that would constitute wrestling, right? Wrestling stances and positions which he might not have a lot of experience in.
Final seconds here in this first round. Andy Varela trying to be the bully, but we've seen that Daniel Sathler has not backed down so far. This corner cam is brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. In your corner with unlimited data that won't slow you down.
Hey, you're wearing on him with the hand fighting? Off these elbow passes? Let's start looking for his feet. You're sliding by, catch an ankle. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah, and this is good to see Andy Varela dancing in between rounds because we know he's comfortable. And I think that might have been an issue with him in the past is his level of comfort got in the way of his performances. But to see him in between rounds dancing shows that he's comfortable and he's having a good time.
Well, if you go back to his matches in the tournament, the match with Davis Asari, the talking to the opponent, the gamesmanship, those types of things, I think that's what keeps him loose and keeps him most dangerous in these matches. When he closes himself up and is true to who he is, which is a showman, that's when he doesn't perform at his best.
Mike, I've always told my fighters, man, if you have to talk trash, talk trash. It at least keeps you breathing.
Yeah.
We start round number 2. All right, if you're scoring this, Michael, how did you have round number 1?
Definitely a 10-9 for Andy, just like I said, from that opening sequence, him getting to that front headlock, working that short offense and threatening some chokes. I think it was enough to edge out a 10-9 round.
Dean, you have the same way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Andy Varela just did a good job of just being a little more physical, being a little bit more aggressive. But if we want to see how he makes an adjustment this round, Daniel Sathler's got to make an adjustment this round. I know his corner told him to see if he can't control one arm. So you see him pull guard. That was an aggressive pull. He had a mirror lock momentarily on Andy Varela.
Yeah, I think that first round, Andy edged it up just off initiation of action. But new round essentially makes it a whole new match. So let's see. Obviously, you can tell that Sathler's changed the game plan. He's looking to pull guard. And that's what I love about the 3 rounds in our format, is because if the first round doesn't go your way, you have enough time to go talk to your coaches and reset and come out with a new game plan and essentially have a completely different match. And Sathler's doing that, taking advantage of the break in between rounds and making that adjustment here in the second.
And that's exactly what it was. His corner told him to control one arm, and that's what he did. He controlled that arm, jump guard, and had that mirror lock, and had Andy Varela in trouble momentarily. Andy was able to escape that and neutralize things, but at least it gave Sathler some options, and it gave him some hope to be able to act and be able to work his game.
Also remember, here in UFC BJJ, you do not get awarded points for defending techniques. You have to be offensive in order to score here.
Sattler's being very offensive right now, attacking the arm bars, really working from that closed full guard. And you work from this closed guard, you can make Andy get impatient. He'll get impatient if there's some lull in the action. Andy wants to create action, so if you slow it down, that almost makes it harder for his game, and Sattler's doing a good job of that, frustrating Andy by slowing the match down, controlling him in his guard, controlling his posture, and controlling his arms.
Yeah, and he's got a really aggressive guard, as we've seen him just getting work right away. And Varela did a good job of putting that knee cut in. That's like a spear, and it kind of stops the motion and the momentum of Sathler. Andy obviously not wanting to play around there too long and wanting to be the bully again. And there goes that jump off the wall. And I know he's capable of doing dangerous things from there.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited for with Sathler. Is he's one of the guys that you can know he will take advantage of what the bull has to offer. It's a whole new different dimension of jiu-jitsu. When you can go up the wall and jump into flying submissions, really changes the game. That's what makes the bull so exciting.
And I like the fact that he's still pushing. Like, he's not been intimidated by the aggression of Varela. And I think Andy might have been expecting that. Maybe, you know, because he said it before, I like to push these jiu-jitsu guys around. And Sathler has not been intimidated one bit.
Dean, who has the advantage here in the stand-up?
I think Varela has the advantage in the stand-up. I mean, he's more of a wrestler. He's better with the front headlock. He's just better positionally on his feet than Sathler.
Under 2 minutes to go here in this second round.
I think really what Sattler's trying to do is what he did earlier. I think he's trying to see if he can't get Varela to lean forward a little too much to pull guard, catch him off balance, and catch him in a submission on his way down. Yeah, I don't really think he's expecting to take Varela down. I think he wants to try to catch him in a submission on the way down when he pulls guard.
Yeah, he wants to get the submission in the transition.
Yeah.
Ready for next level fandom? Claim your Fight ID now to experience the ultimate fan rewards. Follow Fight ID on X or visit fight.id.
But also look at Andy jumping the back. Just rear-naked choke. Taking the back. It's in. He's got it, guys. That's locked in. Daniel Sathler needs to pull the top hand down. He needs to pull down the left hand.
Deeper. Oh, he's going to get this.
He's got to pull the left hand down, and he's doing this. Pull the left hand down. And he's got this. That's it.
Varela's got the hooks on, and there's the tap. Varela pouncing here in round number 2, and he gets the submission victory.
That was vintage Andy Varela.
That was how he caught Sean Strickland on YouTube.
That is what Andy does. He will get you out of position, and he's a very opportunistic grappler. You give him an angle, and he will not only take an inch, he will take a mile, he will take your back, and when he does that, he will take your neck. And I'm going to talk you guys through it. Andy Varela with the sensational win. It starts here. Look at how he backs Sathler up to the bull, shrugs him by, and right as Sathler goes to walk towards him, he steps the angle, essentially played the matador, let the bull blow right past him, jumped on his back, and you can see Sathler did the right thing. He was trying to pull down the left hand, the top hand of Andy Varela, but Andy made the readjustment, punched that left hand behind the head of Daniel Sathler, and got one of his vintage submissions, just a body triangle with a rear naked choke. That's Andy Varela one-on-one. That is what he does.
All 3 fights have ended in finishes. We go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 2, declaring the winner by submission, Andy Varela.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Andy Varela. Congratulations. What a performance. How does it feel to get the job done when you came so close to a title shot in your last one and coming out and making the statement you just did?
Yeah, I mean, it always sucks to lose, but that get back's always nicer, you know what I'm saying?
It totally is, and you're doing it in front of this Vegas crowd. What does that mean to you, training here, doing everything here?
I mean, UFC BJJ is here to stay. It's in Vegas. The cards are getting better and better. I'm excited to be a part of this, and yeah, I just love the vibes.
You came out bullying. Daniel, was that the game plan? And then what were the adjustments in the second round? Because we saw you dancing in between rounds.
Yeah, I'm always going to try to bully everybody. I might get bullied sometimes, but that's just how this game goes. But I'm going to try to have fun with it. It's nothing personal against anybody. We're just scrapping in here for fun, you know.
Well, you're a regular here in the Apex, so what would you like next?
I just want to continue to get good matches, exciting matches. I don't want to deal with boring guard players that are going to fling their little fleet around, go for little leg locks the whole match. So whoever's exciting, let's get it.
Andy, message sent. Congratulations. Back in the win column, your winner, Andy Varela.
Andy Varela, 33 years old, gets his win here at UFC BJJ. He said, I got no wife, I got no kids. All I have is 2 kittens. I am dedicated here to the sport of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Man, he looked like a bully in there. That was an impressive win in round number 2. Well, these locker room shots are brought to you by Hayabusa. In jiu-jitsu, lessons come at you fast, but wisdom takes time. Hayabusa equips you for the journey that shapes you. You're looking at 2-time IBJJF World Champion Jansen Gomez set to make his UFC BJJ debut. His fast, aggressive style lines up perfectly with this new rule set, and many are saying he could be the next big star inside the ball. His opponent, a familiar face, Gustavo Batista. The two have tangled 5 times before, but that was wearing the gi, with Batista holding a 3-2 edge. Can't wait to see who has the advantage tonight in the no-gi. It is time for our 4th match of the night between 2 men who already started the mental warfare on social media. Competing out of San Diego, California, Andy Murasaki goes in search of his 2nd victory at the UFC Apex as he takes on the Leopard King, Chris Olivo. What an interesting story that Chris Olivo has, the 33-year-old who calls Las Vegas home. Grew up in New Jersey, had a family of breakdancers. After that, he got into a band, he became a musician. Then he got into the Air Force. He said, I was battling depression, but it was jiu-jitsu that got me out of it and showed me how I can be successful here in life, Michael.
Well, jiu-jitsu saves lives. I can speak to that myself. And if it wasn't for the Hayabusa sponsorship, we'd see him come out in his patented leopard jumpsuit. But listen, this is a guy, he had a very good quote in our fighter meetings. He said, Andy's a tough guy, but so are well-done steaks, and I will eat that too. So this is a guy definitely brash, definitely confident, and he has found a way to blend his breakdancing background into his jiu-jitsu. He's very fluid on the feet. He's got big cartwheel passes, a lot of big dynamic movements that he has found a way to mesh into his overall jiu-jitsu game. Oh yeah, let's not mention, this guy's a devastating finisher. He's not looking to pass the guard and win on points. He's looking to snatch your ankles, looking to get the submissions, and looking to get the job done within the regulation period.
And he's training with the great Robert Drysdale, who I've been following these last couple of weeks. Brilliant jiu-jitsu mind.
His opponent for match number 4, Andy Murasaki. He said when he was off the contract, he immediately went to social media to try to learn about his opponent. He said, wait a minute, he blocked me. So I tried to search from somebody else's account. My girlfriend, she was blocked. He said, you know what? It let me know already, Dean, I'm living rent-free in his head.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting story because when we asked him about his opponent, he said, I don't know who he is. But that speaks to his competition experience. He's been in there with the best guys in the world for a long time training. He is a savage in the gi. He's a prolific gi player. But don't let that fool you. He's also the 2022 no-gi world champion. I've been excited about this young man. When you watch him grapple, he is talented. He is good everywhere. He's equally good passing from left side to his right side. He's good on the bottom. He's a tactician. This is going to be a great match, but I'm really excited to see what Andy Murasaki brings to the table because I think he is built for an organization like UFC BJJ.
Born in Brazil, grew up in Japan, and here he is in Vegas tonight. And it's time to look at the tail of the tape here in the welterweight division, match 4 of the night. Murasaki, the younger of the 2 competitors. A slight height advantage for Olivo. It is Murasaki from Japan taking on Olivo from the United States. We go, Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner with an official weight of 168.5 pounds. out of Potential Jiu-Jitsu, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chris, the Leopard King, Olivo. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 170 pounds, out of Atos Jiu-Jitsu, San Diego, California, Andy Samurai Murasaki. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight.
Here we go, the welterweights getting it on. Chris Olivo in the blue, Andy Murasaki in the black and the red. Now, in fairness, we asked Chris Olivo about that social media beef, and if he had blocked him. He said, yeah, I blocked him. He said, stop creeping on me. You will find out when you need to find out.
Well, I mean, he's right about that. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what you know about him, you still got to face him inside the bowl.
It's something worth noting that two parts of our Portuguese broadcast team has been split up, as I see Andre Galvao in the corner of Murasaki and I see Renato Canuto in the corner of Olivo. So very interesting dynamic to this match.
So what happened to the broadcast? Is there no one over there?
I think they had some people filling in, but I see Renato there, I see Galvao there. I'm sure they'll be chirping at each other afterwards. May the best man win. And what I've noticed about Murasaki's game is his passes and his attacks really rely on the ones where he can hug the leg. The K guard, especially, he's so good from the K guard. He's very good from his X guard as well. And those are all sweeps and positions that involve attaching his body to the leg, which also helps him get the sweeps, and not only that, but get those submissions that we love to see here at UFC BJJ.
Well, here we see him working the De La Riva hook here. And what that does, it really keeps their opponent off balance. It doesn't really allow them to put a lot of weight on their leg, and it just manipulates the body so that they can't really maintain a good balance on top.
And you can see right now, looks like Murasaki's maybe trying to roll it underneath, get to a bare bowl position, but now Olivo's attacking a footlock.
Oh, and that was tight. That put him in the lead in this round.
And it was good on Murasaki to roll out of it, straighten his leg, and roll out of that attack. And here goes Murasaki with his guard passing, looking for that knee cut.
And this is what I spoke about, his passing. Most players pass to their left. Murasaki is ambidextrous with his passing. He will pass to his left and his right with equal proficiency.
And that's what makes you so dang good at your job, is the fact that you notice that most people pass to the left.
Absolutely.
Now when I go back home on Monday, I'm going to be passing to the right.
Pass to the right, because then the defense is not as good on the right.
Look at that.
Dean, why is that? Why is it most people pass to one side?
I think it's really because we write with one hand, right? So we tend to do things one side stronger than the other. So when we pass one way, we have all our offense on that one way, so we stick to that. But when you can pass both ways, a lot of wrestlers can pass both ways, but when you're a jiu-jitsu guy who can do it both ways, it gives you a significant advantage against the bottom player.
Keep that strong frame in there. The opportunity will present itself.
Just over 2 minutes to go here in this first round in the welterweight division.
Man, and one thing that stands out to me is Olivo is a big welterweight, very long, big for the weight class, knows how to use his frames, knows how to use his natural gifts. Like I said in his walkout, when he can mesh his breakdancing background and those dynamic movements with his jiu-jitsu, that makes him a very hard opponent to train for. It's hard to find training partners to emulate that style.
Now, do you remember John Lewis, the great MMA fighter? He came from a breakdancing background too. And I remember watching his movement, just thinking, man, he moves so much better than everybody else. It's because he's been able to blend that dancing with his jiu-jitsu movements.
Olivo said the skill is when you can balance your own weight. He said, that's what I took from breakdancing. When I came to jiu-jitsu, he said it was like I already knew the language, and it made it that much easier to pick up.
And Dominic Cruz does that good as well. Dominic Cruz was a B-boy.
Well, you can see it in his footwork.
Shout out to the first ballot future Hall of Famer, Dominic Cruz.
You got some moves, Chiesa?
Heck no. I dance like an oak tree. Stiff and tall.
And Murasaki trying to see if he can't pull this leg in.
You can see he's trying to pull Olivo's leg, his knee, into that knee line, that danger zone.
He's got a pretty good bite here on
now. He's got that outside heel hook. He might have it. Olivo needs to straighten his leg. Try to straighten his leg and get that heel into the pocket. He's got to roll to his right. Roll to his right, because you know that Murasaki wants to take his heel to the left. He wants to scoop it with his left heel and take it that direction. Scoop it with the left, take it that direction. So Olivo's got to try to get his heel in the pocket, straighten his leg, and roll the opposite direction.
We keep seeing Olivo give the thumbs up, even flex at one point. He feels pretty comfortable in this position right now.
Well, because he's done a good job of just keeping his leg straight enough to where there's not enough bend in it to really get torque on the knee. So he's okay. It's still a dangerous position, but for right now, he's okay. Now we see the knee past the knee line. He's going to be able to get his leg out, regardless of whether the round ended or not.
Corner Cam is brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. In your corner with unlimited data that won't slow you down.
Sooner. Don't put your
that
ass
was a tough round to score.
Very tough.
I thought the footlock from Olivo might have been enough to win that round, but then Murasaki came back with the heel of his own, so it's a very tough round to score.
I definitely think so. I think it was I think the last attack from Murasaki might have constituted him getting the 10-9 round off of initiation of bout ending techniques. But as you can see here, look as Murasaki engages in this leg entanglement from the false reap. Look at him, he's starting to roll underneath, try to get a bite on that leg. And right here you see Olivo get a nice attachment to this footlock. You see Murasaki rolling out of it. And then right here, this is towards the end of the round, you can see Murasaki getting a bite on that leg. And you can see, so this is where he takes his left arm and gets it scooped under the right heel of Olivo, and he was able to turn that over and get a decent bite on that heel hook. Olivo sniffed it out, and that's how that round ended.
Are you ready?
It'll be interesting to see how the judges score those two different attempts and what they thought was more. I thought the attempt from Olivo was actually stronger.
I definitely agree with you there.
And it's interesting that it came on a leg lock, because Olivo told us in the meeting, he said, I'm initially not even going to go for that, because when you look at tape, that's the only tape there is out there of me getting a submission on the legs. He said that is not the game plan so far tonight.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the tape of his matches really revolves around that PGF tournament that he was in, and he won a lot of those matches with straight ankle locks and foot locks. So there is, you are right, there is not a lot of film on him out there. But what you can see, that is what it is. So he's going to have to come in there with some diverse attacks, because obviously Murasaki, not only is he a very seasoned veteran of the sport, but that's all that he's seen on him in his film study.
And Murasaki's just chewing on that leg. He's not going to let that leg go.
Now he's working from that reverse De La Riva hook. Starting to invert is Murasaki.
Olivo trying to solve this puzzle and get the pass here with Murasaki on his back.
You can see Murasaki going back to that De La Riva. Olivo doing a good job staying low with his base to avoid getting caught in a berimbolo and getting his back taken. And you can see that's exactly what Murasaki's trying to roll for right now. Trying to get underneath, get to that berimbolo, get to the back. But Olivo sniffs it out, lowers his base, and takes away that space that Murasaki needs to roll underneath him. Now Murasaki, from what I see, looking like he's trying to work an X guard right now, something he's very good at.
And there he goes. I feel like he's gonna finish this sweep. Nope. Bailed on it. And I think that has a lot to do with the size that you talked about of Olivo. And he spoke about that in previous interviews. He said, you know what? I'm not going to get bullied around by these smaller guys. He's competed at higher weights. So now he's going against smaller guys and knows that he's going to have a strength advantage over these guys. And it looks like he does have a strength advantage over Murasaki.
He also decided to bring in Renato Canuto into his camp this time around. He said, I want to be more of a well-rounded athlete.
Looks like Olivo was almost trying to look for a waiter sweep there. And now he's attacking that leg. You can hear Coach Drysdale calling for a scissor sweep right now. And one thing Murasaki does very well when he's on top is he does a good job keeping his knees together, but keeping his feet wide, which makes it very hard to get him off balance. A lot of times he's going to be flat-footed, and if he's flat-footed, he's going to be hard to move. And if he's not flat-footed, he's going to be on his toes, pressing forward, trying to pass. He's very hard to get off his base when he's on top. And you can see, look at the way he's able to get low, and at times,
you could just see the pressure.
Yes. And this is bad pressure right now as he's got his hands locked with his head and arm control, looking to smash Olivo's shoulders flat. And when you smash your opponent's shoulder blades flat, essentially then you can start untangling your legs because they can't use their upper body to try to regard and get to underhooks.
Yeah, this is some really good work from Murasaki here.
Great smash passing. Now you can see right now he's got that right leg stapled. And if I'm Olivo, I'm trying to free myself from the head and arm control. I'm trying to pummel for an underhook, particularly with my left arm, but now he's caught in his cross-body control, and you see Murasaki steps over to mount. Beautiful work. This is what we call smash passing. When you get head and arm control and you can cross-face your opponent, pin their shoulder blades flat, this is smash passing. Now he's going to get Olivo's arms above his head. Look to see him isolate an arm. I would not be surprised if he's going to start attacking either an arm triangle or if he's going to attack the right arm of Chris Olivo. And if I'm Olivo, I want to pummel that right arm in. I want to get a right arm underhook and try to get myself back to a half guard.
Yeah, he's in a really tight position here. It's going to be very difficult for him to create any space. Murasaki's just such a savage in this position and knows how to get control over every little spot. So even when he's tight on top, you try to look for the space at the legs, and Murasaki just doing a really good job. You see how he passes when he tried to get that half guard? He tried to pummel into a half guard, and Murasaki just passed the guard and just eliminated the leg altogether.
And look at that, switches to a knee right now. He's looking to isolate an arm. He's going for the arm bar right now. He might have this. If I'm Olivo, I need to roll and hitchhike.
Oh, he gets a really good job of escaping that.
Good stuff from Chris Olivo.
With just seconds left, Olivo escapes the armbar. And that'll do it for round number 2. The corner cam is brought to you by Total Wireless, the official wireless provider of UFC. In your corner with unlimited data that won't slow you down.
He's dead, guys. He's dead. That's it, man.
Well, so this is going to be interesting because now, if I'm not mistaken, you got to go 10-8 Murasaki, which makes things interesting for this last round because he looks tired. He looks tired, though.
Yeah, Olivo looks tired, and you can tell off judging criteria. Murasaki checked all 3 boxes. Initiation of fight ending techniques, hunted for the legs, initiation of action. He was passing, and the duration of control. He checked all 3 boxes.
This one was close to ending at the end of round number 2. Dean, walk us through it.
So here we see Murasaki on a knee to belly position, isolating that far side arm. He steps through, puts the leg inside. He's going for the armbar, almost has it. And then we see Olivo just kind of belly down and just get out just inches away from being able to secure that arm lock.
It was almost like a hitchhiker escape.
Yeah, very similar to a hitchhiker escape. But part of me believes that just because I think Andy Murasaki might have rushed that a little bit.
You need to find a way in the guard, Chris.
Just realizing time was running out. I feel like Andy Murasaki might have rushed that a little bit.
Stay here. Are you ready? Yep. Are you ready? Let's fight.
We start round number 3. And Michael, how do you score here through these first 2?
Right now, I think definitely, you could give Olivo the 10-9 first round. That was a close round, but I would say maybe Murasaki edged out a 10-8 round. The second round was the most clear-cut round for sure. The first one's kind of up in the air. Right now, let's see what Chris Olivo could do from his back. If I'm Chris Olivo, I feel like he was having more success being on top because we saw the pressure passing and the smash passing from Murasaki really gave him problems in that second round.
Dean, do you agree? Does Chris Olivo have to have this 3rd round?
Well, I think if he wins his 3rd round by a 10-9, then that would, for me, make this a draw. So I think that this is an important round for Chris Olivo. He's got to either get a 10-8 or he's got to finish in this round if he wants to win this match. But I'm surprised at how easily he was taken down. I mean, Murasaki just stepped in and shot a single leg and just dumped him with relative ease.
Yeah, Murasaki just had a beautiful body lock pass. When I say body lock pass, he has his hands locked underneath the arms of Chris Olivo, and he's just able to control that upper body, back step to side control. Now he's back in the mount position. We had a lot of success. Now he has more time to cook Chris Olivo. When I say cook, that means you control your opponent and smother them. You start to slowly take away the space to where they get impatient and they try to buck and use less technique and more explosiveness to desperately get out of positions. And that's exactly what Murasaki is doing right now, is he is cooking Chris Olivo. He is going to start hunting for submissions. Look to see him get that arm triangle or try to isolate another arm.
I love that word you used. There is a desperation to the game right now of Andy Murasaki. Think about this. 10 years ago, he was 15 years old, working in a welding factory in Japan. Didn't know how he was going to be successful in jiu-jitsu. And you can tell he's trying to make the most of this opportunity tonight.
And this is the worst position to be in if you're Chris Olivo. When you are mounted and your opponent is scooping your arms above your head, it is so uncomfortable. When your elbow gets above your head, it's a very uncomfortable position to be in. I don't care how flexible you are and how good your shoulder mobility is. It does not feel good when you are mounted and your elbow is getting pinned above your head. Look at what Murasaki's doing. He's walking the elbow above the head with his hand. He will dig his fingertips into the mat. Look how he's crawling his hand forward to bring the elbow of Chris Olivo above his head. Once he can get his elbow above his head, he will hug his elbows and start to isolate that limb. And like I said, get to that arm triangle or get to that armbar attack.
Watch the armbar.
What's the escape here if you're Chris Olivo, down potentially around? How do you come back here in this third round with 2 minutes?
Well, what he needs to do is he needs to try to cross step. He needs to take like his right leg over his left leg and try to scoop the leg of Murasaki and use that over that right leg to pull a foot back into a half guard. Or right here you can kick. When you kick, that's when you put your feet together, block the hips, and essentially push their hips down and try to sneak a leg in. And that's exactly what he did right there. He hit a kip escape from being mounted.
Well, for Olivo, I think that for his best chance of winning this match, he needs to get on top. I don't think that he has the bottom game to deal with Murasaki. He just doesn't have the skill proficiency and able to deal with the passing of Murasaki.
Yeah, Murasaki's base is just so good. The way he is able to keep his knees together, keep his feet wide.
Yeah, and when you keep, like you said, you keep your knees together, it doesn't allow the opponent to get these leg entanglements and get their legs underneath you.
Yeah, you're shutting one of the windows. When you put your knees together, you're shutting down the window to where they can get a leg up the middle and work a butterfly guard, a De La Hiva, an X guard. Really forces them almost into a retreat mode where they're trying to find a way to break your base and get those knees apart to where they can get into those leg entanglements and start to work different guards.
Yeah, any chance that Chris Olivo had in winning this match would have relied on him being on top. I don't think he's been able to do it on the bottom.
And look at this right now, Murasaki working from a crucifix right now. Now he might be trying to work for a topside triangle. He's got the arm isolated. Now he's looking for that Kimura.
Yeah, he's got a double attack here. He can work the arm, and then he can even still fall back on the triangle if he'd like.
He's got to attach that elbow to his chest and bring it up with his body. He might have this Kimura.
It is all over. Andy Murasaki in the third round gets the tap and the victory in his UFC BJJ debut.
Yeah, that was incredible. Just a great performance from Andy Murasaki. A close first round, but this is what Murasaki does. He cooked him. He took his time. He almost gave Chris Olivo a little bit of a false sense of hope through that first round. Gave him a little bit of hope that there's a chance for him to win this match. But the more this match progressed, the more Murasaki was able to establish dominance positionally, which led to these submissions. Look at how he was able to get the elbow, the right elbow of Chris Olivo on his chest, and he pulled that lock. He broke the lock with his body. And then he turned the arm over, got that Kimura, just a devastating submission, and it all came from positional dominance. Just look at this, the way he was able to break that lock, ripping it by attaching the elbow to his chest. That way he broke the lock, not with his arms, but with his body. When you try to break the lock with just your arms, you don't have enough strength. But when you're able to put their arm on your chest, and you extend with your body, that's how you break the lock and get the tap.
Andy Murasaki, impressive performance. We go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vitor Shaolin calls a stop to the match in round number 3, declaring the winner by submission, Andy Samurai Murasaki.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Andy Murasaki. Congratulations. You said coming into this one that it was going to be your toughest test to date, but you get the job done with 22 seconds left in the match. Does it live up to expectations?
Honestly, my expectations were to maybe find a sub in the first round, but I'm happy I was able to get a sub in the third round. You know, super tough opponent. I have a lot of respect for him. It's just the way he walks in and all the talk, you know, it's not really my style, but I have a lot of respect for him and his team, and I'm happy I was able to get a sub tonight.
Well, you let your actions do the speaking, and you made a statement here. Is there a name you have in mind next?
Yes. So before my match, Andy Varela against Daniel, Andy won that match. I feel like next event, if the UFC BJJ wants, I think me against Andy Varela would be a good match. Let's see who's the better Andy, right? But yeah, I mean, a lot of respect for Andy Varela. He just won. Congrats. Beautiful submission. And I'm looking forward to face you on the next event.
I think that is a great call out. Ladies and gentlemen, getting the job done in his debut here at UFC BJJ, Andy Murasaki.
Nicely done for the 25-year-old, originally from Brazil, moved to Japan, now calls San Diego, California home, and already gets his first win inside the ball and calling people out. He wants Andy Varela up next. Let's see if the matchmakers will give him what he wants. Well, how cool was this moment this week? Idaho BJJ. This gym won a contest, and they used it as an opportunity to come here to Las Vegas, come inside the bowl, and have belt promotions inside one of the biggest stages here in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Dean, I know you love moments just like this.
Absolutely. I haven't given out many black belts in my time, but I have given out a black belt. And here's a black belt that I've given to Tyron Woodley. I actually gave it to him before, so I was just reminding him as he was talking to Joe Rogan. But Tyron Woodley submitted Darren Till that night with anaconda choke, and that was a move that we have been working for a while, so I wanted to, you know, spread the love and pass on my jiu-jitsu lineage to the former champ, Tyron Woodley.
Love that. When the UFC BJJ 3 card was announced, many circled this next match as the one to look for tonight. Well, it is a rematch from this year's IBJJF World Championships as Jansen Gomez looks for a second consecutive victory over Gustavo Batista, who arrives at the UFC Apex looking for a measure of revenge.
Hey, yo, man.
29-year-old Gustavo Batista makes the walk to the bowl. The three-time IBJJF World Champ said he grew up idolizing Anderson Silva as he watched the UFC. He said he had to sacrifice so much in his life to get here. Moved to Sao Paulo, lived in a small gym where there was 20 other people eating, showering, and sleeping on the mats. You got to be hungry to make it out, and he said, this is my opportunity here tonight, Dean.
Man, when I tell you this guy is a great jiu-jitsu player, he might be one of the most, if not the most decorated jiu-jitsu player on the card tonight. Three-time world champion. Mikey's a five-time world champion, so just under Mikey, three-time world champion. And he's got his black belt from one of the greatest jiu-jitsu players of our generation, the late Leandro Lo. This guy is an absolute tactician when you watch him operate. Now, like I said, he's done most of his work in the gi, but gi players transition well to no gi, and it's because they understand how tactics work. So if he can just make that transition from the gi, use those tactics to be able to come out here, he's got an opponent in front of him that he knows very well that he's beaten before. If he can make those transitions into tactics, he might find some success tonight.
And he will take on fellow Brazilian, 23-year-old Jansen Gomez. Said he grew up in the favelas of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He said daily that we'd see shootouts, police breaking into homes, so his dad wanted to get him and his brother out, would raise thousands of dollars so they could compete internationally. He said when he lost, he would cry because he was so disappointed. He felt like he let the people back home down. Well, he stopped the crying at around 18 years old, but now, you know, many people back in Brazil are proud he's making this walk tonight.
Yeah, very proud. But listen, this is a competitive rivalry between these two guys. These guys have competed against each other 5 times, and it was last time when they competed that Jansen Gomez was able to get the best of Gustavo Batista in the 2025 IBJJF World Finals, and what got him the win was the explosive passing. When you talk about Gustavo Batista, he's like a hydraulic press. He's very slow, but he's very strong, and he just suffocates you. But Jansen Gomez, it's the explosive passing, and he can chain his movements together, so he will go side to side, and once he passes you one way, you will try to regard, and he will explode through 2 or 3 moves till he can secure positions, and it was his explosive passing and his ability to take the back of Gustavo Batista that got him the win in their 5th outing. This is their first time competing against each other, though, without the gi.
Ooh, we are getting ready for match number 5. This tale of the tape is fueled by Monster Energy. Unleash the Beast. It is Batista, the older of the two, similar height, both coming from Brazil, and as you mentioned, the first time they will square off without the gi. Let's go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in officially at 185 pounds. Out of Atos Jiu-Jitsu, João Zeferino Academy, Florianopolis, Santa Catarina, Brazil, Gustavo Batista. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in at 185 pounds. Out of Checkmat HQ, Cantagalo, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Jensen Nenago Gomez. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
Here we go. So much history between the two. It is Gustavo Batista in the blue, Jansen Gomez in the black and the red.
Yeah, and this is one of the matches that I was most excited for, not only just because of the history, but just their styles. Stylistically, Jansen Gomez has such great body awareness and balance, and then Batista is so technical and tactical. This is a great match. I mean, Claudia did a great job bringing this match to UFC BJJ.
In the open, this was what I was emphasizing when she's bringing in some of the best gi players in the world and making them take the gi off, compete without it, and compete on the biggest stage. Dean, you got me so hyped on this match. When I was diving into my film study, both of these guys, their games, I can see why these guys are neck and neck, going back and forth with each other. It's a contrast of styles, but you put these two styles together, it makes for such exciting matches, and I'm excited to see what tactics they bring into the bowl without the gi. It's these types of exchanges I'm excited for. As you see, Jansen Gomez working from the double underhooks. Gustavo Batista almost wizard kicked him and got the throw.
But
Two key guys slugging down on the feet. Yeah.
I mean, anybody else would have got thrown. But Jansen Gomez, his balance is so great that he was able to just catch himself in the air.
And you can tell both of these guys prepared in the wrestling.
Oh, absolutely.
Big time, big time. Just that one exchange alone tells me a whole story that went down in the camp. These guys prepared for the wrestling. They knew that this is a big part of the game plan and how you score and how you win rounds and get finishes here at UFC BJJ.
It was Gomez who was in the black and the red. He got the last win when the two of these squared off this year at Worlds. How much of a confidence boost does that give somebody, Dean, coming into a matchup like this tonight?
Well, it gives you a lot, because the last time you done faced this man, you won. And he put it on him. He didn't just win. He actually put it on Batista.
But the one edge that Batista has over Gomez is, of the 5 matches they had before this one, he was the only one to get a finish, and he got it with a straight ankle lock, I believe. So while Jansen might have the edge and the confidence, given the fact that he won the last match they competed before this match started, we also got to remember Batista's been the only one to get a finish.
And that's a big confidence boost, too, because you had your man tap.
Yep. I love the exchanges I'm seeing on the feet right now. Jansen Gomez going hard on the head. We've seen him snap Batista's neck, breaking the posture, trying to get to a front headlock, trying to punch in some underhooks. Just good stance from both of these guys.
Yeah, I was about to say, Batista is so solid. Not a lot of movement, but he's so difficult to move. He's so solid. And just always in position, right? Like even now, like he's trying to pull his head down, but he just gets himself back into position. Oh! And there he goes, that bowl. Being able to use the bowl, wow.
How sick was that?
That was incredible, but then Jansen Gomez just picked him up. Opted not to pass. Essentially, when he kept those underhooks and he started to posture up, he just brought Gustavo Batista back to his feet. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
That's the best takedown I've seen over the course of these 3 UFC BJJ events in the bowl. That's been the biggest, best, most high amplitude takedown we've seen yet.
But think about it. He used the bowl to his advantage to get underneath him, to be able to lift him, and then just dump him.
Put that one in the highlight package.
Under 1:30 to go here in this first round.
And you can see neither one of these guys are willing to take the chance to go low level and get the shot. It's not bad because they're exchanging very well on the feet with these upper body takedowns. But if you take one bad shot at space and you get stuck underneath, Gustavo Batista.
You're not getting out.
You're not getting out. And the same can be said, but opposite. If Gustavo Batista takes a shot at space and gets stuffed by Jansen Gomez, it's not that you're not going to get out. You're just going to have to deal with the speed of his passing and his transition.
He's going to surf on you. Yeah, I spoke about Batista being a black belt under the late Leandro Lo. Jansen Gomez from Leo Vieira. Yeah, exactly, right? One of my favorite jiu-jitsu players of all time, Leo Vieira.
Oh, such a fun style to watch.
Oh, extremely. And that may be where he gets his awareness and balance and just high-flying amplitude style from.
Absolutely. We saw Jansen Gomez almost run Gustavo back up the edge of the bowl for another one of those big takedowns, but Gustavo's savvy to it. Goes back to the center, and these guys are just slugging it out on the feet.
All right, I need to see this huge takedown riding him up the side of the bowl.
I need to see it too. Look at this. You see Gomez punching the underhook. Almost looks like he's running the knee tap. And once he gets Gustavo up the bowl, he gets underneath him, gets the double, cuts the corner, and just takes him back to the center with the big high amplitude slam. Just a huge takedown. And to me, fellas, that was the move that won him the round. It wasn't a fight-ending technique. It was initiation of action. The initiation of action for that takedown, to me, is what won Gomez the 10-9 round.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to argue with. Can't argue with that.
Every time you try to take him down, just go it as a combo. You have to compound moves all the time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the adjustments that they make, because without that big move, it was pretty much even from both guys. So one of them is going to have to make an adjustment to see if they can't turn this fight, this match, into their favor.
Your head's okay. You good? You okay here? Okay. Ready? You ready? Back. Ready?
We start round number 2 here in the middleweight division. Gustavo Batista in the blue, Jansen Gomez in the black and the red. Are you both in agreement that it was Gomez winning round number 1?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely gave it to Gomez with the takedown. And even that sequence at the beginning of the round got pretty close to getting a takedown from the double underhooks. And even though Gustavo stepped out front and almost hit a judo throw to reverse it, it was definitely the big takedown from Gomez that sealed the deal.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. It was pretty much the most action that we've seen all night, outside of other submissions from different matches, but that was pretty exciting.
And this is what we talked about, Dean. Getting underneath Gustavo and getting your shot stuffed. The fact that Gomez was able to not get stuck underneath him is a win in itself, but now you see Gustavo Batista wizard kicking him. And now re-attack on the double leg.
But he's in the guillotine. Oh.
Beautiful re-attack from Jansen Gomez. As Gustavo tried to run that wizard kick and get the throw, you see it almost squared Jansen Gomez up out front, got Gustavo out of position, got to that double leg. Now he's got him up against the wall looking to pass.
You would not know that Gomez, who's on top right now, this is his UFC BJJ debut. He is moving around this bowl to perfection.
Yeah, he's really using every inch of the bowl to his advantage and being able to score points off of this.
And what he's doing that's so good is he keeps working Gustavo Batista up the slope of the bowl. Like he just did it now. As Gustavo was trying to get to his feet, he almost ran him up the bowl, made him slide back down. They kept him on his back to where he's able to keep working this top control.
Yeah, and when you're in this position, you can't move your hips. You can't shrimp your hips out because you're going up, and gravity will not allow you to utilize your hips.
And this is where Jansen Gomez does his best work, the speed of his passing. If he can get past this half guard of Gustavo Batista, we're going to see the speed of his transitions, the fluidity and the surfing that you mentioned, Dean, the way he's able to surf on top and bounce between position to position. If I'm Gustavo Batista, I need to swim for an underhook with my right arm. He's got to try to get that right arm under the armpit of Jansen Gomez, try to get to that left hip, punch that underhook, and wrestle his way back to his feet. But you see, Jansen doing a good job sealing him off and keeping him from doing that. Now, this is where the speed's going to come into play. Now that he's got him in the turtle position, he's going to try to slide that right leg in to get to his hooks while keeping his seatbelt and try to get to back control.
Well, the good news for Batista in this spot is they slid down the bowl, which gave him a little bit more mobility to be able to maneuver a little bit. Oh, he's getting in a bad position now.
Oh, and he's got that right arm, he's got a good bite, but he releases it. I mean, when you look at the neck of Gustavo Batista, I mean, he's kind of hard to rear naked choke. He's got a...
But these are the advantages that I thought Gomez would have in terms of, like you said, the speed and just the explosiveness and not having to deal with the gi, because in the gi, Gustavo Batista could just hold on to him and just keep him from using that speed. But now without the gi, we see Jansen Gomez using that speed, that explosiveness to just be able to stay on top of these positions and transition a little bit faster than Batista.
Gustavo Batista's got that Gilbert Dorino Burns neck.
Oh, yeah, he does.
It's thick.
That no neck, yeah.
Thick.
It goes shoulder, head.
You see this, Jansen Gomez cross-facing with that head and arm control. Now he's going to use that left leg to try to unlace his right leg. But right now he's going to work from this three-quarter mount, which is a great position. I almost prefer the three-quarter mount compared to the full mount. Full mount's easier to kind of buck and be knocked off your base, whereas three-quarter mount, when you have that leg laced, when I say the leg lace, I'm talking about Jansen Gomez's right leg being between the legs of Gustavo Batista. I like that three-quarter mount.
Yeah, for sure, because when you have a full mount, it allows the person to put both feet flat on the floor, to buck their hips, and they get equal pressure with both legs. When you staple one leg, you only get one leg. The downside of that is it allows you to be able to replace half guard, but in terms of bucking, yes, it's a lot easier to buck when you get both legs when the opponent is in full mount.
Jansen Gomez took control of this second round early on, and he has not let go ever since as we approach 20 seconds to go.
And what what Gustavo Batista needs to try to do is he needs to try to get his left knee past that right knee of Jansen Gomez and try to turn to his left and try to get to a half guard. He's got to try to frame that leg out, get to a half guard, but it's too little too late as the second round closes out.
And as soon as you said that, you saw Jansen Gomez switch the angle of his knee and point it inside to where it was almost impossible to push back for him to replace a half guard.
It's the game of inches that I love about jiu-jitsu.
Tem que ficar na atividade nessa
atuação. Be active right now. Like he's too open. Got it?
A defesa dele de
costas. Yeah, that was a pretty dominant round for Jansen Gomez.
He's always grabbing onto your knee, so he can be a little slower.
Jansen Gomez essentially having his way in this round, and it all started from here. He goes around and avoids this wizard kick, steps over almost, and gets control of this double leg, gets a lift, and boom! Drops Batista on the side of the bowl. Avoids the guillotine there. Now we see him in his passing attack. He's starting to pass. Batista tries to get back to his feet, just shoves him up against the wall of the bowl, reestablishes position back on top, and it was pretty much dominant control from Jansen Gomez that entire second round.
Yeah, it's going to be on Gustavo Batista to start taking chances because he's down 2-love right now easily. So he's got to let it fly. He's got to take some chances. He's going to need a 10-7 round, in my opinion, to win this match. A 10-8 round to get a draw, but a finish would erase all the math and just disregard all the numbers. A finish would seal the deal.
Well, and based on how he looked on his back against Jansen Gomez in terms of Batista, and based on how he looked on his back, I'm not expecting him to pull guard. He's going to want to get on top, so he's got to find a way to get into the body of Jansen Gomez and get a takedown.
Well, right now he's overtying with his right hand, and instead of overtying, he should be trying to punch underhooks. You need to try to get to underhooks because he's been trying to play from the whizzer and get to that whizzer kick, but essentially, Jansen Gomez has used that against him because he's stuffed the whizzer kick, and when he's re-squared and came out front, that's when he's gotten takedown. Instead of working from the whizzer, he needs to work from the underhook. He needs to start pummeling the head of Jansen Gomez and start punching underhooks. Punch underhooks, get to double underhooks, get to a body lock. You know that if Gustavo Batista locks his hands around anything, you are in trouble. Like I said, he's got hydraulic-like power, where if he can lock his hands, he will slowly close in on you and take away the space, control you, and force you to the ground with his strength.
Yeah, I just think that at this point, Jansen Gomez is he's just too fast. His pummeling is too fast, his footwork is too fast. He's able to create the space to not allow himself to get tied up in an entanglement where he gets body locked and going to be taken down.
And the other thing, too, is when you're a shorter, stronger guy like Gustavo Batista, you almost thrive against taller opponents, whereas Jansen Gomez is the same height as him. So that almost that height disadvantage plays into your favor when you are short and strong like Gustavo Batista. These guys are equal. Like I said earlier, the thing that separates them is his hydraulic power for Batista and speed of Gomez.
Well, that was the reason why I thought Daniel Cormier was such a more effective heavyweight. He was shorter. He was able to out-pummel guys up against the fence and get him down.
Saw Batista try to be the bully there, but Gomez easily sidestepping, not being allowed to be driven up the wall of the bowl.
Again, that's just foot speed. Him just being a little bit better of an athlete, having a little bit faster feet, not allowing himself to get caught into anything crazy.
Good takedown defense from Jansen Gomez right there. Popped him with the hips. Brought him back to his feet with that underhook. And it is the footwork, like you said, Dean, of Jansen Gomez that's making him have so much success on the feet. He's not wrestling Gustavo on a linear straight line. He's moving side to side. You see him working like a 2-on-1. He's able to use angles to defend those whizzer kicks, to keep himself from getting head snapped, to avoid the strength of Gustavo Batista. It's that lateral movement and the balance that he maintains while moving his feet.
All right, Dean, here we go. It's under 2 minutes. If you're Batista, you both agree that he's down 2 rounds. How does he take a chance here to try to win this match?
I think he should do what happened to him early on. Maybe, but the footwork of Jansen Gomez, push him up against the wall. There he goes. So Jansen tried to do a drop Sayanagi.
I call it an arm spin, but that was nice. That sounded good.
And he paid the price for it, but eventually working himself out. But I think Batista should push him up against the wall and see if he can't get underneath him and maybe lock his hands.
I think Gustavo missed a great opportunity to keep Jansen on the ground, keep his hands locked, keep his forward pressure. He almost kind of relieved Jansen Gomez of that situation by letting him back to his feet.
One minute to go in this third and final round.
Yeah, just the footwork of Gomez just won't allow him to be a stationary target to be grabbed.
That was a really nice snap from Jansen Gomez. Those good snap downs that we see from Jansen and what we saw from Andy Varela, it all revolves around footwork, moving your feet and moving your opponent out of position to where when you snap them, they're able to get their head ahead of their feet. That's what creates their posture being broken when you're trying to go for those snap downs.
And it looks like Gomez is going to just ride this one out.
But it was still a fun match.
Yeah,
I mean, good exchanges on the feet, good wrestling, big takedowns. We saw great passing from Jansen Gomez. That was an incredible UFC BJJ debut.
But it's kind of what you expect with guys who know each other. I mean, they're 6-time competing. They know each other so well. It's kind of what you expect when you compete against a guy so often. You know their moves, you anticipate their moves. But tonight was Jansen Gomez's night.
This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa. Honoring jiu-jitsu, your dedication, and your journey. Michael, walk us through these highlights.
You can see right here, it was almost like Jansen Gomez was running a knee pick, and then this is when he gets to that big takedown when he ran Gustavo up the wall. And this is when Gustavo was looking for that wizard kick, and you see he squares up to Gustavo, runs that double, gets that big takedown. That was that takedown in the second round. And then this is the passing. Look at it, is Gustavo's getting back to his feet. Gomez just runs him up the wall, knocks him off his base, and then he slides down. And then this is a really nice rear naked choke attempt from Gomez. Just tries to get both hooks in and tried to hack back underneath, but to no avail. Didn't get the choke, but definitely positionally dominated that second round. Just a really, really fun match from my perspective. I love wrestling. That's been my first love my entire life. So to see these guys have these good wrestling exchanges on the feet, that was a lot of fun.
So much history between the two. And we will go to these scorecards to get a decision. As this one goes the distance, let's go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision, Jansen Gomez.
So it is the 23-year-old Jansen Gomez getting the win. The first time that Batista and Gomez have squared off in no gi, and he was impressive in his first performance here at UFC BJJ. Well, we said it's fight week. We got celebs in the house. There we go. Tracy Cortez in the house taking on the action. Also, Diego Lopez liking what he sees inside the bowl here tonight, inside the Apex.
Is there a more fun fighter in the world than Diego Lopez?
No.
Alex Pereira, this guy is a force of nature. The power is just extraordinary.
But he hasn't seen anything like this.
Oh! Arguably his most feared challenger, Magomed Ankalaev.
Oh! Nice right hand by Pereira.
Another one.
Oh! Oh, he hurt him!
Massive left for Ankalaev!
Oh my goodness, what a fight.
Ankalaev on top of the MMA world!
That man wants revenge.
Fortan really wants to remind everyone who he is.
Magomed Ankalaev!
So dangerous, so dominant.
An absolute savage.
This guy's unstoppable.
Rob Dwalishvili, he's a machine.
He just melts guys.
Corey Sandhagen!
He spars high-level guys, and he shut their lights off.
2 world championship fights.
UFC BJJ 3 is brought to you by Hampton Adams, the official athletic tape of UFC BJJ. It's tape that never taps. Visit HamptonAdams.com now for a special offer. By Lucy. Don't grapple with pouches that tap out early. Lucy Breaker's long-lasting flavor dominates the competition. Visit lucy.co to find a retailer near you. And by Puffco. Puffco makes every moment a main event. The best concentrate experience is only with Puffco technology. Now at puffco.com. Our final women's match of the night pairs 2 world champions who are trying to position themselves for a title shot. 19-year-old rising star Kasia Moura returns to the UFC Apex in search of a second victory as she faces off with no-gi world champion Alex Enriquez.
Tonight I'm gonna face Alex Henrique. I'm super excited. This is gonna be the first time I'm gonna face her, so for sure gonna be a good fight for you guys watching.
An impressive performance from the 19-year-old from Brazil.
I mean, her technical prowess and the ferocity that she brings to the mat is beyond her years.
I believe my advantages in this matchup include experience, and I feel that my wrestling is more experienced than hers. Even if I find myself on bottom, I'm a more well-rounded fighter, and I'll be able to find the finish.
Oh my goodness. Another attack into the triangle, back to the armbar, she got it! Holy God!
Wow!
I'm gonna give my 100% tonight next time I can fight for the belt.
Kasia is in store for someone who's just as aggressive as her. And my match with Kasia will be a match that everybody will remember.
few athletes turn obstacle into opportunity the way Alex Enriquez does. At the age of 5, she and her family immigrated from the Philippines to Atlanta, Georgia, where she discovered the sport of jiu-jitsu in the 6th grade, thanks to her older brother, Keven. Determined to sharpen her skills, she joined the high school wrestling team. But being the only girl on a team of all boys presented its own challenges. Forfeited matchups, strength differences, and even injury. But persevering, Alex earned the opportunity to wrestle at Life University. That's when a devastating knee injury derailed her rookie season. But she was determined to bounce back, and she did, earning All-American honors in her 2nd season. Seeing the silver lining in the setbacks, the 26-year-old told me that each obstacle and her journey with faith has made her a stronger, smarter, and more determined athlete. And John, tonight's challenge in Moura is no different. The black belt is more than confident in her ability to surprise the Brazilian when they meet at the center of the bowl.
What an impressive story, Morgan. Thank you so much. Tonight's peak performance is brought to you by Puffco. Puffco, it's not smoke, it's science. The best concentrate experience has arrived with Puffco technology, now at puffco.com. All right, Michael, give us the keys to Enriquez's peak performance.
It's simple. It's 2 things. One, it's physical hand fighting. Moura loves that arm drag, so you've got to be physical with the hand fighting. Don't let her control your hands. Club her and be stubborn on the feet. Be physical with your hand fighting. And number 2, you got to blend the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu transitions together. Get to the front headlock. Get to those chest wrap positions like we saw in her Lilly match. Blend those into your jiu-jitsu transitions to get to the back. She has the ability to mesh both because she has the edge in the wrestling department. So if she can put those 2 things together, I think she could have a lot of success in this match.
Alex Enriquez had a 7-week training camp, brought in an extra wrestling coach to be ready on the feet for Moura. The young sensation from Brazil, 19-year-old Moura. Since winning on UFC BJJ 1, she shot to fame. She went from 20 to 135,000 followers on Instagram. But she said not all the attention has been positive. People questioned how she went from a blue belt to a black belt in just 1 year. She said the key to success in life, Dean, you just can't worry about other people's opinions.
And I love that. But I won't question how she's done it because she's been sensational. She's so aggressive. Her aggression, it almost appears to be a bit disrespectful at times. And it reminds me of, and Mike, you're gonna love this, a bit like Cade Vertulo. Oh. She comes out there and she has no regard for her opponent. She just attacks, attacks, and attacks. And you talk about hand fighting. Her hand fighting looks like jabs. She's absolutely pummeling her opponents with hand fighting and snap downs. She's so aggressive. And I think she'd be great at MMA just because she hand fights so hard. But this is the match. To me, this is my main event. This is the match that I've been looking forward to the most. Knowing these two were going to compete, I'm so excited. I'm thrilled about this match.
This tale of the tape is fueled by Monster Energy. Unleash the Beast. It is Enriquez, the older of the two, with Moura, the youngest on the card. Enriquez has the height advantage. It is the Brazilian taking on the American in our 6th match of the night. We go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the women's flyweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in at 124.5 pounds, out of Atos Jiu-Jitsu, Atlanta, Georgia, Alex Enriquez. And now introducing her opponent in the red corner, weighing in officially at 124.5 pounds, out of Bastos, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Midland, Texas, Cassinia Moura. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight.
Match 6 in the women's flyweight. Alex Enriquez in the blue, Moura in the black and red.
I'm with you, Dean. This was the match I'm most excited for. Look at right
look
away.
At the heavy hands you were talking about earlier. I mean, this is, you know, if you thought Andy Varela's in the back, like, yes. I really do think this is going to come down to who gets on top more often than not.
Absolutely. And Cassia, it's like you know what's coming, but you can't stop it. And it's that arm drag. She is so good with it. She'll do it from the mercy grips. She'll do it from the wrist control, but she hits it so fast. And sometimes she'll block the far leg with her legs, or she'll go for the inside trip or the outside trip. There's a variety in the ways that she approaches that arm drag. And it's Enriquez that opts to pull guard.
And that's surprising to me, considering her background in wrestling. I thought that she would want to be on top. But she may have seen something in the film study that we don't know about.
1 minute.
Yeah, I think this is good news for Cassia Moura. She didn't have to fight for the takedown.
Yeah. And the problem is Alex has taken away one of her best abilities, which is the wrestling. And she can blend the wrestling and jiu-jitsu transitions together, but it's hard to do that from your back. Now, what she can do is try to look for a De La Riva sweep and transition that into a single leg. That's how you blend your wrestling and your jiu-jitsu transitions together. I'm getting like a delay in my, there we go. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys.
Sometimes when you're hearing yourself and it's a reverb, what am I listening to?
That freaked me out. It was like my record was getting scratched. Like, but I'm back. But that's how you blend the wrestling and jiu-jitsu transitions together if you are on your back. You go to a De La Riva, you use a sweep, and you use that to wrestle up. Then you get to a single leg, and you're able to get your takedowns and blend the two worlds together.
Well, she was almost able to do that momentarily, where she almost had a single leg. She was able to wrestle up to that single leg of Moura and almost had it, but Moura just sniffed that out and was right back on top into this position.
We see Cassia was looking for a weave pass. That weave pass is when you essentially put your hand in between their legs and create almost like a half Nelson, create a wedge, and you pass around the legs, but Alex sniffs it out, and now Cassia Moura looking to pass on the outside.
Yeah, this is great guard retention from Alex Enriquez. She obviously sees something in the top pressure of Cassia Moura for her to want to stay in this position.
Yeah, she's trying to control that far wrist, is Alex Enriquez. And Cassia, that weave pass is when she takes her right arm and reaches around the left leg of Alex and then puts it on the right knee and creates a wedge on the legs where she can unlock her legs and try to pass around the legs. We call that a weave pass. And for Alex, what she needs to do is she needs to try to control that far arm, control that far wrist, and try to regard. That weave pass, that position itself isn't threatening until the person on top starts to make their move and start to make their transition and make the pass off that wedge. But I would prefer to not have that wedge be in place so I can start to control the hands if I'm Alex Enriquez and I'm the person on bottom.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about that hand fighting. As we see with Alex Enriquez's right hand and Cassia Moura's left hand, that battle right now is so important, because if Cassia Moura can get she's trying to get this face pressure here, this shoulder pressure on the face of Alex Enriquez, she'll be able to put her shoulders flat on the floor, and that'll increase her chances of passing. But as we see, Alex Enriquez just doing a good job of not allowing her to get that shoulder to her chin.
1 minute to go here in this first round. How would you score this one early on, Michael?
I would have to give it to Alex Enriquez just based on the duration of control. I feel like that she has controlled Alex Enriquez. Not a lot of threatening submissions. You know, it was Alex Enriquez that initiated this position. She pulled guard, but Cassia Moura, for the most part, has controlled the position. It's going to take a big move from Alex Enriquez in the next 23 seconds for her to steal this round back, but I feel Cassia Moura, like I said.
You say Cassia Moura?
Cassia Moura, yeah. Cassia Moura with duration control.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It feels to me like Cassia Moura's passing attempts have outweighed Alex Enriquez. It seemed like Alex Enriquez that stole it right there, if there was any question about it. That was just a slick of a pass as you can get. She just hopped over the legs of Alex Enriquez.
It's that jumping baseball. Yeah, that jumping baseball slide pass that she does so well.
So if you want to question this young lady's black belt, you got some answers for yourself about your knowledge of jiu-jitsu.
She said, I have been training since I was 8 years old. This is someone who...
Chloe breathing. That's right. Let's keep the same rhythm, right? I don't think she's going to call it. She's going to bring you in. So you got to have some more time to take her down. Listen to me. Listen, we have to change positions and directions to actually pass guard. She's very flexible.
And let's take a look at the replays right now as you see both ladies exchanging on the feet. And it's the guard pull from Alex Enriquez. She's trying to control the wrist, and right here, there's a little bit of a clash of heads. Moura was looking to engage, and then it's that jumping baseball slide. Usually that baseball slide, you try to stay low, but Cassia is so dynamic and so fast that she will jump into that baseball sliding pass. Just a thing of beauty. It's one of the staples to her passing game. You got to deal with that when she's trying to pass on the outside.
We start round number 2 here in the women's flyweight division. Cassia Moura already has a win inside the bowl. For Alex Enriquez, this is her first time competing here on UFC BJJ.
And I'm sorry if I got tripped up when I was talking over the replays. I just saw Antonio Nogueira just showed up. That's my guy.
Yeah.
Big Nog's my guy.
Nog.
If you don't know who Big Nog is, well, you got a membership to Fight Pass. You can look him up and see why he is one of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time.
Absolutely. There's no question about that.
That deep half guard, man, it's a thing of beauty. Now let's see if Alex Enriquez looks to be more offensive with the wrestling. I think it would serve her best to try to keep this match on the feet. But Cassia Moura is having none of it. Hits that patented arm drag. We're just seeing staples to her game through the course of this match. The baseball slide pass, the arm drags, just the things that she does so well. But look at Alex Enriquez wrestles her way back on top.
And she's got good pressure on top here.
Starting to work a body lock
But
pass.
Moura did a good job of retaining her guard. She's doing a decent enough job of it's that forward pressure that Alex Enriquez has that's really tricky to deal with.
She's really going hard on that body lock pass right now.
Remember Enriquez on top. She is an All-American wrestler. Her second season at Life University before she decided to dedicate her career to jiu-jitsu.
Oh, wow. Now we see a sweep from Moura. I'm not sure why Enriquez gave that up so easily, but kind of gave that up a little in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe it's because a big part of her game plan was that body lock pass, but when you're going for that body lock pass, it's when your opponent has double butterfly hooks. You want to try to get them down on one hip and try to leg pummel your way over their bottom leg and try to pass the side control. And Cassia Moura did a good job just trying to keep her hips square to the mat.
Ooh, Cassia Moura, another slick entry.
With the cartwheel pass, almost nails the landing, but Alex Enriquez doing a good job of her guard retention and the leg work.
Cassia is so good from the outside with her passing. The cartwheel passes, the baseball slide passes, the speed. She can almost make these little subtle side-to-side cuts to just get a step ahead and misdirect you.
Yeah, she just almost like a basketball player juking you with the crossover.
Trying to hit that crossover, that
crossover.
The Euro step.
Yeah.
Now it looks like Cassia is looking for a knee cut. She needs to get that right leg, that right shin on the inside of the right thigh of Alex Enriquez. Try to get that knee to the mat, staple it down, and start to work for that knee cut pass.
Something Cassia Moura told us is that she's trying to get the finish on the back tonight.
And she did a good job bundling the legs right there. She essentially locked her hands around the legs of Alex Enriquez and then did a little back step pass to the side. Forced Alex Enriquez to go to a turtle position. This is where Cassia is very dangerous. Now look, she's got to try to climb the body and get chest to back connection. She needs to get her chest connected to the back of Alex Enriquez, start to attack the choke. And if I'm Alex Enriquez, I'm trying to scoot to my left and get my shoulder blades flat to the mat so I can turn into her and escape the back control.
Now remember, on UFC BJJ 1, Moura got the back of her opponent, Talita Alenkar, tried to get the finish, but she didn't have the quite right position. She said, I went back into the lab, worked on my hands and arm positioning, and that's how I want to get the finish tonight.
Well, Talita Alenkar trains with Dean Thomas, so that's why she wasn't able to submission.
Actually, I just saw her the other day. Actually, she doesn't actually train with me, but I saw her in the gym, actually in Amanda Nunes's gym training just yesterday.
And you're training with Amanda Nunes again?
I am, yes. Getting her ready for a fight, hopefully, that happens against Kayla Harrison one of these days.
Brewing something up. You heard it here first.
I'm hoping. We're hoping it.
It's cool to hear you guys reconnected.
Yeah.
30 seconds to go here in round number 2.
Julie Pena definitely hates you now. Figures. And look at the way Moura right now working to that body triangle position. Such a dominant position in MMA and jiu-jitsu. The body triangle is such a way to bleed time off the clock and just deflate your opponent is such a hard position to escape. It's a win in itself for Alex Enriquez, the fact that she was able to break that body triangle.
But a little too late, just a little too late.
Shoot 10-9 for her. You're gonna have to finish it. Yes, you're gonna have to go
Enriquez, I think
you have to finish on top.
Yeah,
or
so
make her
exactly.
shoot in you and expose your head. Okay? Let's sprawl first before you get the neck. I want more front headlock. Work more snap. Okay, Alex.
Distance.
Respirando, controle a respiração.
Just control your breathing.
Mais uma luta de 5 minutos.
Listen, it's one more, another match, a 5-minute match. You good?
Chegar nas costas.
Just says get to that back and just go straight to the nose.
Tá?
Okay?
Ó, fique esperto que ela vai atacar pé agora.
She's gonna try. She's losing, so she's gonna try to get your feet. Listen, she's gonna pull you up. She's gonna pull for guard. She's gonna call you up.
We start this third and final round between Moura and Alex Enriquez. Dean, how do you have this one scored so far?
I got it 10-9 both rounds for Moura. I said it earlier that I thought this round or this match would come to who spends more time on top, which has puzzled me why Alex Enriquez pulled guard early in that first round.
Yeah, I have it 10-9 both rounds for Moura. It's the duration of control. That's been the keystone for me in terms of why she's winning this match and why Alex Enriquez is down 2-love. It's the duration of control from Moura. And now Alex Enriquez is starting to pick it up with the hand fighting, starting to be more physical, trying to go hard with the hands.
Well, Cobrinha told her she needed to do that, to more snap downs, wrestle more. Be a little more physical. Match that physicality of Moura.
She needs to try to get into a short offense situation where she can get to those chest wraps, get to those body locks, or excuse me, get to those front headlocks, get to those wrestling positions. Moura is good with the arm drag. That's the best part to her wrestling. But there's more layers to Alex Enriquez's wrestling game. It's just been so hard for her to get to him. And that's just because Moura has just been dominating this match. And Alex Enriquez has just been a little bit too passive and not engaging in the wrestling. I was very surprised that she sat to guard so early in the first round.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Moura was very afraid of heading into this match was Alex Enriquez on top. She said, I spent a lot of my training on the bottom being able to defend that, but we have not seen much pressure on top from Enriquez here tonight.
Maybe she thought she'd be able to sweep a little easier. Maybe it'd be a little easier for her to get into the legs of Moura if she was on bottom to sweep, but it hasn't worked out for her.
2 minutes down here in this third and final round.
And it was just what you said, Dean, with the way that Kasia does her hand fighting. It is like jabs. Just right there, the way she was able to pop the shoulders and pop the head of Alex Enriquez. It really is like a jab in a fight.
She just bow, 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 bow. It's so disheartening as an opponent getting hit with that repeatedly.
And there's that arm drag. She catches the ankle. And let's see Moura. She switches to the body lock, but Alex Enriquez sniffs it out. Now she's draped over the top of the guillotine. And she loses it. That was her best shot at finishing this fight, was that guillotine. Great counter wrestling from Alex Enriquez, but that attempt at the guillotine cost her the position. But she does have to sell out and try to finish this match.
Yeah, she needed to do that. While it may seem like a mistake, she needed to do that. Anything she can do to get her closer to a submission to finish this match is going to be what she needs to do. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see her maybe even go for some legs at this point. Like, she really needs to sell out and try to snatch some type of submission.
It's Kasia's ability to control the positions from the outside. She will start on the outside, and then when she's able to engage, she shuts down Alex's any type of opportunity she could potentially have to get to a leg entanglement, because Alex did say in the fighter meetings that she had been training her leg locks for this match, and Cassia has done a good job shutting down those opportunities and not letting them be available for her. And that's by passing from the outside, and when she makes her entries to the inside, she's always looking for a knee cut and just shutting down that space that Enriquez needs to get to those leg entanglements.
And also just good hand control from the top guard, just not allowing Alex Enriquez to have control of her hands to even dig and swim underneath a leg to even attempt some type of leg lock.
Absolutely.
Enriquez is going to have to go for broke pretty soon, under a minute, as Moura gets the takedown.
The speed of those takedowns, man, they are so well set up. She does a good job using that arm drag to stop her from shooting from space. That's the worst thing you can do against a wrestler of the pedigree of Alex Enriquez, is you take a naked shot at space without any type of hand control, because then you're going to get caught in a position where you're stuck in a front headlock. You're fighting off guillotine. She uses that arm drag and that wrist control to close the space. That way she's taking safe shots. And the speed that she possesses also helps that as well.
Yeah, she does that so fast. I mean, she's not only just doing an arm drag, but she's hitting that inside trip so beautifully. Arm drag to the inside trip, and she's done that twice, maybe even 3 times in this match.
Final seconds to finish out the final round. As Moura, one last shove. And that'll do it here in the women's flyweight.
And she looks like she's got a little bit of a goose egg on her forehead. Must have been from one of those wrestling exchanges. This Cassia Moura, if you look on the right side of her forehead, she's got a little bit of a meat biscuit.
This replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring jiu-jitsu, your dedication, and your journey. Dean, break it down for us.
And here we see Cassia Moura with that beautiful jumping baseball slide pass as she gets around the guard of Alex Enriquez. Here's another one. There's that cartwheel pass. Almost nails the landing, but Alex Enriquez does a good enough job of getting a leg in between. Now we see Cassia Moura with some back control. She takes the back of Alex Enriquez, just climbing up the back, gets control of the face, and that allows her to get better back control here. She gets her chest square on the back of Alex Enriquez and rides that out. And now we see that inside trip, that arm drag to the inside trip. Alex Enriquez trying to see if she can't get a guillotine on Cassia Moura, but Cassia Moura smells that from a mile away, clears the head, gets on top, and just has a dominant performance. And it baffles me that you guys said they're questioning her black belt.
That's what she's been reading online, but I think she's putting those doubts to rest.
Don't look at me.
Let's go to Justin Bernard for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision, Cassia Moura.
Well, you see, the dance moves from 19-year-old Cassia Moura, gets her second win inside the bowl as the crowd is loving what she brings to the table. She said with a win tonight, she wants a title shot. She wants a belt here in UFC BJJ. Well, we've got some stars in the house. How about Raquel Canuto? How impressive was she on the last card, UFC BJJ 2? She got the win, and she is coming back in action. A new UFC BJJ champion will be crowned. Tune in to UFC BJJ 4. It'll be Thursday, December 11th, when UFC BJJ standouts Raquel Canuto and Aurelie Laverne face off in the first ever BJJ women's featherweight title fight. UFC BJJ 4 will stream live and free on UFC YouTube channel. Well, the bowl is such a unique setup that grapplers who have been here before say they definitely have an advantage coming into tonight. Brazilian standout Kennedy Maciel returns to the UFC BJJ Bowl, seeking his second consecutive win as he takes on 2023 world champ Samuel Nagai.
So I faced Kennedy on 2022 in Brazilian Nationals, and unfortunately he was able to escape from my sub and secure the points. But UFC BJJ, we don't have points. We go for the sub. So I think this game is really good for me, and tonight you guys gonna see.
Good work from Nagai, staying on this, staying aggressive, continually working. And this is a good period of pressure from Nagai now.
Sam was a well-rounded fighter. He brings the pace. This time I'm just trying to match up and outpace him and fight forward and bring the show to the crowd.
Kennedy, I feel like this is when he does his best work, is when he works on his pressure and his passing. Just look at him, he's got a physical presence in there.
Samuel can expect aggressive Kennedy, bring the heat, bring the pressure, and try to finish him the entire match.
I think he's thinking that it's gonna be an easy fight, but I think he doesn't know like what is coming, because my style is different. It's complete, you know, and I think he should be careful with his arms.
I want my performance to be remembered for one of the best performances of the night. It will bring me closer to the title shot. That's what I'm looking for, and secure the UFC belt.
25-year-old Samuel Nagai makes the walk here to the ball. He was born in Brazil, moved to Japan as a shy kid, just didn't even feel comfortable talking to people until his parents signed him up for jiu-jitsu. He was the only kid in a class of adults, and he said a different side of me came out. That's where he earned the nickname Little Samurai. It has stuck with him ever since. And once he drops inside the ball, you will see the samurai spirit from him tonight, Michael.
Yeah, you know, and I had to ask him about what it was like coming up in that Japanese culture, and he said Japan has a very respectful society, so the martial arts mix as well. They focus on techniques, and he feels fortunate that he learned in Japan because it taught him to be humble compared to Brazilian culture. Now, that came from his mouth, not mine. But when this guy steps into competition, he is so dynamic with his passing. He is so offensive with his guard. He will string attacks and sweep attempts one to the next until he's able to secure his sweeps and get to his positions. And he is so good in the scrambles. He does a good job keeping his hips high in the scrambles, particularly ones that involve him taking the back. So look to see him control the scrambles and be very offensive with his guard and attack with submissions.
He will take out his katanas, and that's when he turns into a samurai tonight. His opponent, also from Brazil, 28-year-old Kennedy Maciel. He said when he was back here on UFC before, he said it was an experience like nothing he has ever had in his life. The immediate exposure, transportation, accommodations, his coaches were here, the medical attention. He said, I felt like a high-level athlete. He said, this is something I want to have for the rest of my life. I'm so grateful what UFC BJJ has provided to the jiu-jitsu community, Dean.
Yeah, absolutely. And he also believes that he has the better wrestling and more no-gi experience. But I want to talk about the advantages that he has of just competing under this organization. Being here, it's an entire week of obligations that he's had to deal with that Samuel Nagai hasn't had to deal with yet. The pressure of being under the banner of the UFC logo. Also, just the bow, all of that, the rule set. He has a lot of advantage going into this match. Now, he has experience competing against Samuel, but I think his major advantage is being the fact that he's done this before. He's been here before under the UFC BJJ banner, and I think that's going to be a huge benefit for him tonight. Also the son of the legendary Cobrinha, a chance to make a name for himself here in the UFC BJJ.
This tale of the tape is fueled by Monster Energy. Unleash the Beast. It is Kennedy Maciel, the older of the two competitors, same height, both from Brazil, but it is Maciel with the advantage, with more experience inside the ball. Let's go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, with an official weight of 153.5 pounds, out of Checkmat HQ, Katy, Texas, Samuel Samurai Nagai. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in officially at 155 pounds, out of Alliance Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Los Angeles, California, Kennedy Cobrinha Jr. Maciel. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
There they go, dropping in for the 7th match of the night. And here go the katanas. Samuel Nagai has turned into a samurai. He is in the blue. Kennedy Maciel in the black and red. Dean, what is something you're looking for early on in this match?
It's things like this. Who can get the first point? Like whoever gets the first point can be able to ride with the momentum of this. And I think that with Kennedy Maciel right now being able to score first on that early takedown, I think that's a huge advantage for him.
And this is what Samurai Sam is what I'm going to call him through this whole match. I'm sorry, guys. Samurai Sam is so good in the scrambles. Look at the position that he put his hips in, where he's able to turn in and reverse that position. He has done that time and time again. He was competing for Polaris, and you should have seen the exchanges he was getting in with much bigger opposition. His ability to win scrambles and his hip awareness gave him a lot of opportunities to have success in some of the matches I've watched, and that was on display in that exchange right there. It was the hip awareness that won him that scramble.
You know what it also was? It was the Brazilian in him. He said it's the badass in me matching with my humble Japanese side.
Oh, and there's that explosive passing. Look the way he jumped into that pass. He's got such a speed advantage in this match. Now, he just can't be overzealous attacking the submissions. Obviously, you want to finish the match, but you definitely want to set him up. I'm a little surprised that he let Kennedy off the hook there. And let's remember, guys, there's big title implications in this match. The match after this, Carlos Henrique and Matheus Gabriel. Either one of these guys has a big win tonight. They might find themselves in a title fight with whoever pulls ahead in the co-main event. There's Kennedy looking for that 2-on-1 on the far side. Looking for that 2-on-1 sweep. Sam on the guy, lets him back to his feet. Samurai Sam.
Samurai.
It's got a ring to it, man. I can't help it.
When you say that, I think Yosemite Sam.
I'll just call him Sam.
No. Call him Samurai Sam. I like it. He does have his own move called the Samurai Lock, where he locks up a Kimura with one arm and then uses the other arm to choke from the back position. So I'd like to see him try to attempt that tonight if he can get to that situation.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one with the one-arm Kimura, but apparently Samurai Sam's taking it to the next level with the choke as well. That's next level.
One-arm Kimura, is that Carlos Condit?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I know
my guy.
I know my stuff.
Samuel looks to pull guard, and Kennedy sniffs it out and immediately goes to a stack pass. Look at the way he's able to briefly staple the right leg of Samuel down. Samuel regards.
Yeah, and I think this is a better spot for Kennedy. It seems to be like he looked a little uncomfortable on his back underneath Nagai.
And look at that butterfly sweep from Samuel Nagai. Doesn't come up on top, but he is so good with his guard. The speed and the ability to chain sweep attempts together makes him so hard to deal with. Just a deadly combination, the speed and the ability to chain the sweeps together.
Now, it's a lot of activity. The question will be, can he maintain this? Because like you said, with that speed and all this activity, he's got another 13 and a half minutes to do this. Potentially.
Well, and we know that each round is essentially a different match. You get a reset and it's another match. In some different promotions, the match is only 6 minutes. So you have to go through multiple matches if this goes 15 minutes. And Kennedy's already gone the distance here, so he's already had essentially what we would call the octagon jitters in the UFC. But you see right now, Kennedy looking to drop down on the leg. Samuel scrambles out, gets back to his feet. Now he's attacking that guillotine. He's got a little bit of a bite on it right now. It's enough.
He does enough to get
Kennedy to bail in the position.
Absolutely, enough for him to force that defensive reaction, to score points on a defensive reaction.
And now he's got a quarter stack right now. What he needs to do is he needs to try to drop his right shoulder in so he can get his hand all the way out, and then he can go to bicep control and lock in a Darce choke. He's got to really clamp down. Bring your elbows together. Drop that right shoulder. Then he can switch to that Darce grip. And if I'm him, I'm willing to take that chance with 20 seconds left. You see him here going to the wrist.
Creeping it. It's creeping it.
Going to the wrist. He's doing a great job.
There it goes right there.
It's a little bit shallow, not as deep as I would have liked. If he would have dropped his right shoulder in to get the hand more through and outside of the neck, he could have got it deeper on the bicep. You want to have your palm on the bicep, not your fingertips.
So Kennedy Maciel survives. He will get back to his corner after that first round.
He's good, you're good. Look, I made a mistake. You know you didn't. Listen, it was just the first round. Listen, you're doing damn well, okay? Just they have to look at it when you pass. Like, listen, you passed guard really well, okay? Listen, I got to squeeze a little more. You got to put him down a little bit. Just, that's it. You didn't feel it. You didn't feel it. This first round was his. Listen, you got 2 more rounds now.
All right, let's look at some of this earlier action. The guy gets his feet underneath. He's got a De La Riva hook on one side, and then just sort of an elevation with the other side. It pushes Kennedy off of him, and now we see Kennedy shooting in on a leg here. The guy going for the choke, causing immediate attention, almost getting under the neck on Kennedy Maciel. Then he switches the grip to a Darce. Rides out the rest of the round in that Darce position. Samuel Nagai, 10-9. Anybody arguing with this?
No. And you know what made that guillotine attempt so good is it was on the left side. It wasn't on the right. It wasn't with his right arm. It was left arm guillotine, which is something that a lot of people aren't used to. Going back to what you said, being ambidextrous, being able to do things on both sides can throw your opponent off.
We start round number 2. Both Dean and Michael agree that it was Nagai getting the win in that first round, 10-9. So let's see what Maciel comes back with here.
Boy, the look you gave me, if I was going to contest.
I was like, you better not contest.
Beautiful whizzer kick from Samuel Nagai and Kennedy Maciel trying to work a shoulder crunch right now. But if he wants to get this shoulder crunch, he needs to have Samuel's shoulder, or his arm shelved on his shoulder. But the fact that Samuel's still clamping down and using that whizzer prevents him from that shoulder, from getting his shoulder crunched and getting swept.
Yeah, he protected it. He protected it with his own leg.
Yeah.
And Mike, this is something that you said earlier, and I think that's the biggest difference between these two competitors. Is just Nagai seems so much faster.
Definitely has a speed advantage, and it's worth noting that,
and an elbow
to the head. It's worth noting that Samuel weighed in a little bit lighter. He weighed in at 153.5. Kennedy comes in at 155. Maybe Samuel's could potentially be a featherweight. Maybe he didn't have as much of a cut as Kennedy, and we've seen that in mixed martial arts and in wrestling. That if you don't have as much of a cut, you have that speed advantage, and you're not as depleted, it's to your advantage. Kennedy looking for that 2-on-1 on the far side. Look to see him work that 2-on-1, get that top leg in for the butterfly hook and get the sweep, but Samuel fends off the 2-on-1.
But it's not only the speed and decision making, but just physical speed. As they're going for positions and they know which positions they want to get to, the guy just seems so much faster at beating him to the spots.
It seems like Nagai almost has a plan as to where he's going next. It's not like he's just flurrying and seeing what positions he's ending up in. I feel like that he has sequences that he has predetermined, sequences that he trains to where if he's going for one sweep or one pass, he's doing it just to set up a pass or a position that's 3 moves down the road.
Well, that's so much easier to make your decisions when you already know what they are.
Yes.
Now, this is a rematch from 2022 when both these squared off. It was in the gi, and it was Maciel getting the win there. But Samuel Nagai, who's on top right now, he said, the rules didn't really help me then. I was the guy going for subs. He said, this format here in UFC BJJ, this fits my style better.
Well, thus far, he's very right. I mean, he's on the attack. He's attacking positions. Even if there was points by a point standard, he would still be ahead.
But it comes down to that speed. When you have the gi, you take away the speed because he can't move as fast. And now without the gi, when it's just the free movement of it, the guy seems to have an advantage. He's in a little bit of trouble here, but
he's got a deep arm guillotine. That's nice. He's got a good bite on it.
A great bite on this.
He's got to sit to his left hip.
As Maciel pulls his head and his neck free.
Yeah, Maciel was able to get his hips up to alleviate the pressure of the guillotine and also create a little bit of space for him to get it out.
Samuel briefly looking for a razor lock right there. I'm almost curious, Dean, how was it easier to defend that guillotine with Samuel's back being more up on the bowl? Was there more space between the space between the bottom of the mat and his back?
I think so. I think it allowed Maciel to elevate his hips higher to make his body be able to weave his head out.
When the show gets over, I'm going to throw you in an arm and guillotine against the wall, and we're going to test that out.
No, you're not. You can do it to John.
All right, John.
No, you're not.
It looks like right now Samuel attacking an arm.
45 seconds to go here in this second round.
Kennedy, if he's in danger of an armbar, he's got to stack Samuel on his shoulder blades and get his right leg behind his butt to stack him up, keep him on his shoulder blades, and try to inch his arm out. But we're way beyond that now because he is out of danger, and now he's looking to pass the guard to Samuel Nagai with 25 seconds left in the second round. And Samuel sniffing out a little bit of a knee bar there.
Yeah, Kennedy looks a lot more comfortable on top. I think in order for him to have some success, or the success that he wants in this match, he needs to get on top.
And the threat of that guillotine that's prevented him at times from getting on top because he's had some good shots. But Samuel's got that nice guillotine up his sleeve that's thwarted the takedown attempts from Kennedy at times.
You won another one, 10-9. You've won two, 10-9. You want some water? Listen, you're fighting really well, Samuel. Listen, I want you to be on top again, just like the first round. No bottom, right? Just only if it takes down like bottom position. But if you listen, whenever you're in the bottom position, you were still attacking. That's you have to just try to fall on top. Listen, it's really heavy, but to get out of it, listen, you have to take him down first. You have to take him down. Listen, every time he try to take his back, he counterattacks with the guillotine. This is the last round, okay? Forget what happened before, first and second. This is the last one. Okay, we gotta get him. You gotta get him. Let's go. Listen, what's happened is he's going to try like he's fighting like a tournament right now. That's what he's doing.
Third and final round between Samuel Nagai and Kennedy Maciel. Dean, you were pretty confident after the first round, a 10-9 round for Nagai. How did you score the second?
Well, the second one was a lot closer. But I do think the guy might have edged it out. I thought that just his duration of control was a little bit more to Maciel. Maciel had his moments, and it was a close round, but I thought that the guy might have edged that out 10-9.
I agree with you, and also sprinkling in the initiation of about any techniques with that guillotine. It was close for a brief moment, but he did have a good, legit submission attack in that second round, so I think that Samuel might have edged that second one out. It's going to be close. The first round was definitely more clear-cut. But in these situations, Dean, you know as well as I do, sometimes it's not the best thing to tell your athlete, hey, you're up 2-0, because you don't want them to get this sense of that they're able to maybe coast through the third round. You want them to still press the action, especially if they're having success.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. But it's always on, the onus is on the person who's probably losing. So if he starts to coast, Kennedy Maciel has a job to do, and that is to attack.
Maciel told us coming into the night, he knows how big this opportunity is for him. He said, I have to be impressive if I want to get a shot at the title. Well, right now, he's got his back against the wall. He is just trying to get the win, potentially down 2-0.
Yeah, and I don't think it's for a lack of trying. I just think that he's at a speed disadvantage, and he's not winning the exchanges.
Yeah, and Samuel's done a good job winning the scrambles. He's done a good job threatening with the guillotine, stopping some of the takedowns of Kennedy. He's had a good sweep. Kennedy's got to find a way to get a takedown and pin Samuel Nagai. He's got to get a takedown and flare the legs and land in an advantageous position instead of getting the takedown and having to fight through a guillotine or fight through a guard attempt. And there's another guillotine from Samuel Nagai. That one's deep. That one's deep. He's got a good bite on it, guys. And you see Kennedy Maciel going to his hip to try to alleviate the pressure. Now Samuel Nagai's in the mount. This is deep. Oh my gosh, that was so close.
An escape for Kennedy Maciel.
But that's what I'm saying, is Kennedy's had great penetration on his shots. but he's not hitting that second move on that takedown fast enough to clear the threat of those front chokes. You got to get to that double, run your feet fast, and flare the legs to where you can land in a side control, to where even if they have the guillotine, if you flare the legs, you land in side control, and if they hold on to it, you can hit them with a bomb flu or something of that sort. But him shooting in and not hitting that second move fast enough is what's getting him caught.
And if it's not that, and I agree with you, if it's not that, it's just a better setup. Like we were saying earlier with Kasia Moura, how she does the arm drag, it eliminates the chance of her getting caught in the choke. So for Kennedy Maciel, if he's not going to have a second attempt on his shot, he needs to clear the arms before he takes a shot. Because he's getting in, but he's just not beating the arm, and he's finding himself in that guillotine because he's getting in on that shot. Just can't finish without being in that guillotine.
Also here in UFC BJJ, you get no credit for getting us out of a submission attempt. No credit for defense. Maciel, if he wants to win, he's got to pull out something special here in the remaining 1:30 in this final round.
And look at that hip awareness from Samuel Nagai once again. Awareness of where Kennedy's hips are and where his hips are, and he's able to heist his hips and end up on top.
Yeah, and I want to stress, this is not a lack of effort from Kennedy. I mean, he is giving everything he's got. I believe that this is his full arsenal. I just think that Samuel Nagai is just on top of his game today.
Oh, it looks like Kennedy's...
Oh, he's got an arm bar here.
Look at her almost like a Choi bar here. But it's a little bit too shallow. Look at this, Samuel knee cutting his way through to side control, and essentially Kennedy used that left arm to create a big frame to elevate Samuel Nagai before he's able to settle into position. Now he's dropping down for a heel hook. The knee is safe. Samuel Nagai's knee is safe. It's not in the danger zone. The knee line is clear, but it was a good attempt for Kennedy Maciel. He knows what the assignment is. He's on short time. He's got to try to flurry, latch onto something, and try to get a submission right now.
Yeah, he needs a knockout, and he's going for it.
What an incredible match. One of the funnest matches I've seen through these first three events.
This one goes the distance between Samuel Nagai and Kennedy Maciel. As the two competitors show some love and dap each other up, this replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring jiu-jitsu, your dedication, and your journey. Michael, walk us through it.
Man, this match was so exciting. Look at this. As Kennedy's shooting in on this takedown, Samuel Nagai drops in on this left arm guillotine, gets to his left hip, and then starts to just get his chest on the back of Kennedy's head. Kennedy does a good job rolling to his back, but then as he tries to wrestle back up, he gets caught in this quarter stack with a slight Darce attempt thereafter. And then right here you see Samuel Nagai looks for that elbow pass, and Kennedy sniffs it out, and then he tries to get this body lock, and you see that Samuel's able to turn into him, get this arm in guillotine attempt, but it's up against the bull, which made it a little bit easier to defend because you can look at how easy it was for him to get the elevation of his hips. And then here's the last one. You see him try to clear the ties and go for that shot again. This time, Samuel Nagai gets a really good bite on it in the center of the bowl. And look at him just wrench onto that. That was deep. You know it's deep when your opponent rolls to a hip to try to alleviate pressure. And when that doesn't do it, they concede position and give up mount. Kennedy was able to kip and hit a hip escape, as you saw right there, to clear his legs, clear the mount, and get out of the guillotine. The front chokes were a big staple to Samuel Nagai's success in this match.
All right, let's get the decision. We go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we have your winner by unanimous decision, Samuel Samurai Nagai.
So it is the 25-year-old Brazilian in his UFC BJJ debut, getting the win after going 3 rounds as he showed the fighting samurai spirit.
I think it was that move that he hit early.
Look who's in the house, Ronaldo Jr., the black belt no-gi world champion. Here for Fight Week, everyone trying to take in the action as we see what's coming up for UFC BJJ 4, more titles. will be on the line at UFC BJJ 4. We got top middleweight contenders William Tackett and Ronald Jr. will put each other to the test in pursuit of the first ever UFC BJJ middleweight championship. UFC BJJ 4 will stream live and free on UFC YouTube channel on Thursday, December 11th.
I thought I saw Ronaldo Jr. sniffing around the Performance Institute earlier today.
All right, here we go. First of two championship belts on the line tonight. UFC BJJ lightweight champion Carlos Henrique makes his first title defense, facing off with talented Brazilian challenger Matheus Gabriel.
I was the first guy like hold the belt in UFC BJJ, so it's a big thing. People is gonna like remember forever. No, every time when people talk about like, UFC BJJ, everybody's gonna remember this.
It is over.
I think for me it's more important like defend the title. A lot of people is gonna go there like try take the title from me, and I'm gonna show everybody that I deserve to be the lightweight UFC BJJ champion. I met Matheus Gabriel before, and you fought before like, in the gi. He's beat me by point. He's really a dangerous guy in the gi, but I think I have more experience than him like in no gi. He's gonna have a lot of hard times with me. He's gonna go against the champion, so the pressure is out on him.
Man, this fight, it's special, right? So when I had the opportunity, of course I accept because UFC was a dream, and also it's for the title, right? So I'm so excited for this fight. We fight once in the gi, right? It's so different, not a story, but yeah, we fight once and I won. I know a little bit of his game, and he's such a good athlete. He changed a little bit. He used to train a lot in the gi, and now he changed like for no gi. And I get it, you know, like he's the champion. People, they want to take his belt. And now I'm in the line to take his belt. I'm feeling good and I can't wait.
I'm gonna try the entire time like he get the submission like quickly. But I think like Matheus is gonna try play safely. He's gonna play on his back the entire time and try do some like bullshit stuff. Because like I said, he don't have a lot of experience in the gi. I don't see any danger coming from Matheus Gabriel in the gi. Like I say, he's a great guy. He's a great like athlete, but I think he don't have a lot of skill in the gi. In my mind, like he's not dangerous. Nothing is dangerous coming from him.
I love to be on it on. This is awesome, you know, all the time, you know, people are like, oh, now he's gonna lose. Okay, let's go. I don't want to do like a boring match, of course, and probably this fight is going to end up in the submission. If I got some submissions, of course, I'm going to try to sub early. The goal is to go there and finish, right? So that's the goal. So let's see.
It's time for the co-main event, the lightweight championship on the line. Matheus Gabriel, the 28-year-old from Brazil. Back in 2023, he was training for a tournament. Tore the ACL, MCL, and meniscus in his right knee. Still slapped on a brace, tried to compete in order to show his sponsors he had heart, and eventually had to withdraw. Came back last year, won the Lisbon Open, and on his way to doing that, Dean, he submitted everybody. He is healthy, ready to take the biggest step in his career tonight.
Yeah, this man is a dangerous guard player, and he's very open about his game plan in this. He said he expects to pull guard and attack, and if he can get in his guard and start stringing together submissions, it is going to give Carlos Enrique a lot of problems.
Yeah, and he feels confident given that he beat him before, but he understands the assignment. He knows that no gi is a completely different game compared to the gi, so he did his time training without the gi in preparation from this match. And it's good that he says he's not relying on that false sense of security that like, oh, I beat him once, I can beat him again. He understands this is the champion. This is a different task compared to the first time that he competed against him. So he did all the right things in preparation, physically and mentally.
You know what he wanted to do to prepare for this? He watches all of your fights, Michael Chiesa. He said, I love you.
Well, I love him too. I got to leave the booth and get a picture after this.
Henrique, originally from Brazil, now calls Lumberton, Texas home, gets ready to make his first title defense. Since winning the belt, his life has completely changed. He has bought land in Texas. He has a beautiful baby girl, Daniela, and it has lit a fire under him to maintain this belt. And Michael, he's also getting ready to make his MMA debut later this month.
Yeah, you know, he said that, you know, I had to ask him, hey, I see you're training MMA, what's the plan? He said, my debut's in 2 weeks. He's not worried about the weight cut. And not only is he having an MMA debut, he's doing it for Fury FC in Texas, one of the premier feeder leagues to the UFC. And I asked him, so what's going to be the game plan? He said, no grappling, no wrestling. My plan is to go out and knock my opponent out.
Well, he already has a win over Matheus Gabriel in a prior match. But he also won the weigh-in yesterday. If you saw the weigh-in yesterday, during the stare-down, Matheus Gabriel reached out to grab the belt. And Carlos Henrique slapped his hand away. And Matheus Gabriel did nothing. I thought he won that exchange. It was telling. Matheus Gabriel lost that exchange. I thought Carlos Henrique won that. And that, to me, carries over into this match today.
He's got a family and an extra mouth to feed at home. He has a lot of motivation here tonight. This tale of the tape is fueled by Monster Energy. Unleash the Beast. It is Matheus Gabriel, the older of the two. The champ has the height advantage, as they're both hailing from Brazil. The first of the two championship bouts tonight. We go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event set for 3 rounds, all for the UFC BJJ Lightweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in officially at 155 pounds, out of Checkmat HQ, Katy, Texas, Matheus MG Gabriel. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in officially at 155 pounds, out of Orande Brothers Jiu-Jitsu, Manaus, Brazil. He is the undisputed UFC BJJ Lightweight Champion of the World, Carlos CH7 Enrique. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight.
Here we go. This is for the lightweight championship. It is Matheus Gabriel in the blue and the champ, Carlos Henrique, in the black and the red. Michael, what are you looking for here early on in this first round?
I'm just looking to see Carlos Henrique immediately just make it physical. You saw in the way, and he slapped the hand away, just started the gamesmanship early. Now he just has to be physical. He needs to take the game aspect out of this. Here's the difference between Carlos Henrique and Matheus Gabriel. Matheus Gabriel's the type of guy to call it jiu-jitsu a game. Like, he'll talk about his game, this guy's game, this is a game. Carlos Henrique, this is a fighter. This guy wants to be a UFC champion. This guy is the UFC BJJ champion. He started jiu-jitsu to become a UFC fighter, so he's got to make this a fight. Don't make it a game. Don't make it a jiu-jitsu match. Carlos Henrique needs to make this as close to a fight as he possibly can.
And he almost stopped the action as Gabriel almost gets dumped outside the bowl.
And he almost just did that by throwing him out of the bowl.
Well, Gabriel has spent more time on his feet than I expected. I had expected him to pull guard within the first 10 seconds. And there goes the guard pull right there, immediately to a triangle attempt.
Well, I did read that Matheus Gabriel does train with two-time All-American Melvin Lofton with his wrestling, so has spent time training with high-level wrestlers, but opts to pull guard, which is what we expected.
Well, his guard is the best aspect of his game. I mean, it's so dangerous. He's so quick with his submissions from there.
And it's also the fluidity in his movements. And look at the way he was able to use his guard to sweep and get on top. Carlos holds on to that leg.
Both of them have leg locks going here.
A lot of big flurries from both guys early in this first round. Matheus Gabriel, this is a guy that, like I said in the open, the resiliency and the toughness for him to overcome complete knee reconstruction and having all the competitors in his sport count him out from him not being able to recapture another world title, for him to come back from that and to beat Andy Murasaki in the final and just prove to the world that he's got the resiliency and the grit to reclaim his throne. This guy can beat anybody in the world on any given day, and that's been proven.
How about even wanting to compete in that same tournament he was leading up to training, tore his knee completely and put on a brace just to try to impress his sponsors? That's how dedicated he is to the game.
That just shows what type of competitor he is. Like, he's committed to this sport. He's committed to his craft, and he's committed to becoming a champion, and he's proven that 3 times. This is a 3-time black belt world champion. This guy is the cream of the crop.
2 minutes to go here in this first round with the lightweight championship belt on the line.
And there's nothing wrong with what I said earlier about how Carlos Henrique needs to make this more of a fight than a game. For Matheus Gabriel, and even for myself as a fighter, I try to treat fights like something that's just competition. That makes me compete better. When I make it more of a fight, I don't compete as well. So for Matheus Gabriel, if he keeps it more competitive, keeps it like a game, that might be best suited, might be best tailored for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever is going to allow you to psychologically go in and deal with the pressure of the match, you have to use that to your advantage. And if turning this into a game is better for Matheus Gabriel, he needs to keep it that way. Just keep trying to score points and look for finishes in a game aspect.
Explain what Enrique is trying to accomplish here.
Right now, I think Carlos Henrique is trying to work this false reap. It almost looks like he has kind of a false reap right here. It's hard to see from my vantage point. Maybe try to get out the back door.
Yeah, well, he had spun for a knee bar a little earlier up against the bowl wall. Yeah, remember, that bowl wall is such a tricky aspect of it because it just doesn't allow you the same space and the same opportunity. Sometimes to your advantage, and oftentimes to your disadvantage.
It's going to be interesting to see which camp puts up the funds to build a bowl at their gym, because it's a hard thing to prepare for. It's not the same as a wall. It's not the same as a 45-degree angle. The slope makes it such a challenge because you can work your opponent against it, and it can also work against you. Think about if you're caught in a leg lock and you're trying to roll out and you roll up the slope and gravity forces you back down, you're caught.
Great exchanges from both guys.
Once again, Enrique trying to walk Gabriel up the slope of the ball. And the final seconds remaining here in this first round. That'll do it.
game. That's your
Tough
game.
round to score for, in my opinion. I'm not sure who got the advantage in that.
Did you see that the only chance that he has whenever you guys are standing? Like in the wrestling, he's kind of pushing you out. Just listen, don't snooze on it. Just do your game. Pull it. Everybody's pulling it. You get what I'm saying? The only thing he's good is whenever you're standing. Okay, he's pushing you. Don't let him squeeze you.
Halfway through the round, the other coach was talking to the judge in Portuguese.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, champ.
Hey, Carlos, same pressure. That looks good. Looks good. Every time you back him up to the edge of the ball, he doesn't have that mobility, and he's uncomfortable.
He's uncomfortable
there.
there.
Started looking for the disengagements when you were on the feet.
Faz o seu jogo, não vamos
Your
jogar o
game.
jogo dele.
Let's not fall into his game.
Are you ready? Let's fight.
We start round number 2 here in this lightweight championship, and it was interesting. The corner of Carlos Henrique telling him that Gabriel's not comfortable towards the slope of the ball. Try to force him in that direction because he's going to try to disengage immediately.
Well, the problem is he's backing up on a straight line. So it's not that he's uncomfortable, he's just not moving side to side. He needs to use lateral movement to evade the slope of the bull. Gabriel's just walking him back on a straight line. I wouldn't say it's making him uncomfortable. I think it's just, maybe it's something Matheus didn't really expect to have to deal with, is getting walked up the slope of the bull like that.
And we saw that earlier with Johnson Gomez, right? As he was getting pushed back to the fence, he used lateral movement in order to circle out and pivot to the center of the bowl. But Matheus Gabriel not able to do that, so instead of circling out, he opted to just pull guard up against the edge of where the slope begins in the bowl.
I think that's a better move for him than to stay on his feet and get backed up and get out of position.
For sure.
Get his back taken if he's coming back down the slope. This is better tailored to his game to start playing the guard. And it looks like he's slowed Carlos Henrique down a little bit. That first round was pretty chaotic. Those guys were all over the place.
Yeah, and I think in order to beat Carlos Henrique, like one of Carlos Henrique's advantages is his pace. Now, if he can slow him down with the use of his guard and his leg work, that's going to give him an advantage. He might be able to keep it slow and then maybe get a couple of good bites to steal some rounds.
Something we like to ask all the competitors, what their training camp is like, how they train specifically for these big matches. And Carlos Henrique said, I don't do anything differently. I train every single day for moments like this.
That was pretty close to a Choi bar attempt. You saw him trying to throw that left leg over the back and under the right armpit of Carlos Henrique to attack that Choi bar. But Henrique shuts it down. Just look at the wide base of Carlos Henrique. It's just such a big body for the weight class. Keeping a wide base, wide legs, staying low. The lower that Carlos Henrique stays when he's on top, it's not giving Matheus Gabriel the space he needs to get to that De La Riva. He loves that De La Riva. He'll work the De La Riva and the reverse De La Riva. That's where a lot of his sweeps and his attacks come from. So the lower that Carlos Henrique can stay when he's on top and take away that space, you're going to take away some of Matheus Gabriel's best guards and best attempts to sweep and get on top.
But Matheus Gabriel has to be careful. Now, if he is going to try to slow Henrique down, he has to have some submission attempts in order to try to steal some of these rounds. Because if he just stays on his back and he continues to just have guard retention and Henrique passing, Henrique's going to win these rounds just based on passing attempts alone.
Oh, he almost got the triangle there. You saw the attempt, him trying to isolate that left arm. Tried to punch the right arm through, get that triangle. You see Henrique stapling, trying to staple down the left leg of Matheus Gabriel. Now he's looking for that stack pass. And that stack pass that he was going for in the first round created a lot of exchanges, because as he was looking for that stack pass, that's when Matheus Gabriel almost kind of rolled through it, almost let Henrique kind of throw the stack pass and get the pass and try to roll into the legs, and created some really good exchanges.
Yeah, Gabriel's got a really good guard, and I mean, and Henrique understands that, which is why he's playing this distance game so well. Standing, and then it gets a little close, and then just he'll back out, not allow Gabriel to really string any 2 or 3 moves together.
Now it almost looks like Enrique is trying to swim his way through that knee shield, maybe try to drop down to his right hip. Instead, he opts to back out. I think that Enrique's just like, he's trying to find an entry from the outside. Because as he's trying to stack packs and engage in the guard of Matheus Gabriel, it's come to no avail. I think he's just trying to kind of back out and trying to find an entry from the outside to maybe get into a better position to pass.
Well, but that's what it is because if he stays on his knees and tries to pass, he allows Gabriel to string together a couple of moves. And that's the danger in being down there. See, again, now he'll stand and try to, like you said, find an entry from the outside. When that won't work, he'll go out, back out, create some space, not allow Gabriel to put together moves at a time.
Another tightly contested round. Final seconds here in round number 2.
Carlos.
All right, this one's going to be a tough one to score. Michael, how do you see it this first 2 rounds?
You know, the first one's really hard. It's really hard for me to confidently give you an answer as to who I thought won the first. I think the second round, I'd probably give it to Enrique. I think that he did a better job shutting down the guard of Gabriel. Even just that little attempt at a footlock there towards the end might have stolen the round, but nonetheless, this is one of those matches where I'm just glad that I'm a commentator. I'd rather sit here, call it as I see it, than have to score it.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that.
Listen, you have to believe. Okay. Listen, let's believe. Okay, use your head now. Okay, listen, you have to do not respect. It was the last round. Okay, listen. The audience, they want to see movement. They want to see active. Like they should be only defended. I want you to see be offensive. Let's go. Screw it. Let's go. Go for it.
Are you ready? Let's fight.
The lightweight championship will come down to the 3rd and final round. What a takedown by Enrique.
Well, and this is where being more of a fighter is to your advantage.
And look at this. You can see Matheus Gabriel looking for a barabolo here. He's looking for it. He's underneath. This one's close, boys. And you can see Carlos Enrique controlling the hand, trying to prevent that from happening, and he almost got on top. But Carlos Enrique sniffed it out.
But Gabriel staying with it. He's staying adamant about trying to make something happen.
Oh, now Enrique almost thought he was trying to go for like a modified knee bar there, but now he's back on top. And the position of Enrique is going to make it almost harder for Gabriel to get underneath him. But now that he's back on flat ground, I think that's going to better suit Matheus Gabriel for the game that he's trying to work.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Again, and that's just the structure of the bowl wall. And there he goes, and that's the kiss of the dragon. He got that reverse De La Riva trying to get the kiss of the dragon here.
Look at this guy.
And there goes the sweet, perfect.
That was beautifully executed. My guy Dean Thomas knows his stuff. That was great. Matheus Gabriel in the front headlock position here. Is he going to drop down for it? He's trying to swim his arm through to try to get to that anaconda choke, and he drops for the guillotine, but he didn't quite have the angle. Not the best shot selection.
No, absolutely not. Matheus Gabriel needs to get off of this wall. And the fact that he allowed himself to get pushed up against the wall this entire match has been to his demise. I think that's where all his problems have started, is just allowing himself to get pushed up against the wall.
Now it almost makes you guys wonder, with all the MMA training that Carlos Enrique is doing, is this something that he works with his MMA game, putting his opponents on the wall, pinning them on their back, stuffing them against the fence? Is he now meshing that with his game here in the bowl, putting his opponent against the slope of the bowl, taking advantage of the edge of that part of this mat that nobody's really using? Is this part of his game plan? I would be interested to ask him after this match.
I would hope so, because now you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone in terms of your training.
And he said, ultimately, my goal is to be in the UFC as an MMA fighter.
And look at the way he's able to bundle the legs, back step pass. Now he's looking for a body lock pass here, and he's got the left arm of Matheus Gabriel trapped. He can backstep with that left foot. But he just knows if he, there it is.
There goes.
There's that backstep pass. Now if he could trap, if he could reach through with his right arm and trap the right wrist of Matheus Gabriel, he could force him to give up his back, and he could get to back control right now. If he could trap, get that far side wrist trap, that handcuff.
Once again, it's Henrique walking his opponent Gabriel up the slope of the mat, as it feels like the champ is being the aggressor here in this final round.
Yeah, and this is his advantage in almost every match that he's going to have. Just the pace and the pressure. It's never going to relent throughout the duration of the 15 minutes if it goes that long.
They're going to try to jump through, pass the guard. That's going to be so hard to do against Matheus Gabriel. That's hard to hit that type of dynamic jumping pass. It's going to be so hard against a guy like Gabriel.
But once again, it's the visual of Henrique trying to push the pace, trying to push the aggression here.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and I like what his corner's saying. Like, he's up on this round, might have been up on the second round. And they're just telling him, no breaks. Don't let this guy rest. Keep the pressure on him. Break him. Even with 30 seconds left, just telling Carlos Henrique to continue to break his opponent.
I don't feel like Matheus Gabriel has been broken yet, though. I feel like he's still very much trying to stay active with this guard. This is his game. This is his game plan. But Carlos Henrique has an answer for it.
5 seconds.
Final seconds here in this final round. And that's going to do it. We're going to have to go to the scorecards for this lightweight championship match.
Great job. Want water? You're good.
Yeah, I can't see it going any other way. I feel like Carlos Henrique retains the belt.
Well, this replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring jiu-jitsu, your dedication, and your journey. Dean, tell us what you saw here.
We see here Carlos Henrique going for the leg. He's reaping the leg, gets a back step, and then Carlos Henrique avoids the return. As Matheus Gabriel tries to get a leg lock of his own. Now we see Carlos Henrique with that stack pass precedent. Then he swings over for the knee bar, runs into the ball wall. Runs into the ball wall. Without that wall, he might have been able to have the extension to get that knee bar, but he runs into the wall. Now we see Carlos Henrique get him on top here, avoid this De La Riva sweep, this Barambola that Matheus Gabriel tries to hit on him by holding on to the arm. And now we see the Kiss of the Dragon sweep here. He's got the reverse De La Riva, spins underneath, gets back access on Carlos Henrique. Just beautifully done here. Good control here, gets to control, gets on top, and then avoids the leg lock return of his own from Matheus Gabriel.
All right, let's get the decision to see who will get the lightweight championship belt. Let's go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score the contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still, UFC BJJ lightweight champion of the world, Carlos CH7 Henrique.
Congratulations to 26-year-old Carlos Henrique in his first title defense. He is successful. He will bring the belt back to his wife and his new baby girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am with your winner, Carlos Henrique. Congratulations. What a fun match to watch. What was going through your head when the scorecard was being read?
First of all, thank God. He's deserved all the honor and glory. Without him, I'm not going to be able to be here. And I'm so happy to come here, defend my title, and show for everybody that I deserve to be the champion in this big organization. So, yeah, I'm just happy and grateful for being here.
Your baby girl was born 2 weeks ago. How did that serve as motivation coming in here tonight and putting on the performance that you did?
Yeah, before I walk in to the mat right here, I was looking at her picture, and I kind of like cried when I saw her picture. She gave me a lot of motivation to come here, her and my wife. I need to provide for days, so I come here with a day in my mind, so I'm really happy. I love you, baby. I love you, Daniela.
Well, the dad strength was certainly on display. And you're also transitioning into MMA. Your first amateur MMA bout is in a couple weeks. But my question for you in your training and approach for this camp, you kept bringing Matheus to the edge of the bowl. How much of that is your MMA training, or was that the game plan coming in for this match?
Yeah, for my MMA training is no jiu-jitsu boring my MMA training because I train in the morning and I train like in the night jiu-jitsu. And in the morning, he used to with Coach Drew in the CS Academy. So it's kind of like the body. I think it's like my Nogi train helped me with my MMA. It's kind of like mixed together. So I kind of like keep doing both and things like keep you on the level high from coming here and show these jiu-jitsu they didn't have.
Well, you certainly showed that, and I know you're pivoting to that at the end of this month. But what is the next challenge you would like to see here in the bowl?
Yeah, I always look for a candidate, but he just lost it today. So I wanna, Samuel? I wanna fight with Samuel with my next match. I think that's a great match. He's really excited. I'm very excited. So I wanna face him for my next defend.
Well, I think everybody here tonight would love to see that. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Carlos Enrique.
So Carlos Henrique will retain his belt here in the lightweight division and is already calling out his next opponent, Samuel Nagai. Fight week here in Vegas. More celebs in the house. Andrew Tack at the UFC BJJ champ. Cody Steele came through Dana White's Contender Series, now a member of UFC. And also, how about the former lightweight champ in the house? Anthony Pettis, always good to see him. He is a regular supporter here at UFC BJJ.
Mikey, you a fool.
I had to do a cameo. Well, I fought the guy and I tried to take his back and it didn't work, so I had to do it this one time.
We appreciate you joining us tonight here in Las Vegas for UFC BJJ. 8 matches down, and it is now time for the main event. With almost 1.2 million followers on Instagram, the Bantamweight champ has built such a huge fan base because from the beginning, he has been authentically himself. Superstar Mikey Musumeci puts his Bantamweight title on the line for the first time, squaring off with Keven Carrasco in tonight's UFC BJJ 3 main event.
So my last match was UFC BJJ 1. I was able to finish him with an outside heel hook, and I was able to receive the belt from Dana White. It was so crazy. I'm a part of the history of the beginning of UFC again. So it's just an insane experience and feeling, and it's also a lot of pressure and motivation to keep getting better, keep improving, because there's so many people that want to kill me, so I have to work really hard. What I think makes me a champion is I just constantly am seeking perfection. I'm constantly seeking to get better at things. So I think that mindset keeps me growing, keeps me improving. Going into my first title defense, I honestly feel incredible. I feel like my jiu-jitsu's improved so much since the Varela match. Kevin's an incredible opponent, but I really work hard every day and I'm so ready for him. What I need to do in this match tonight to keep my belt is basically from Cobra Kai. Strike first, no mercy. I think the rules of going forward and being aggressive favor me, and I think that we'll get into some crazy exchanges, and I think that will be in my favor, and that's why I see myself winning. The statement I want to make tonight in this match is that I'm here to stay as the UFC Bantamweight champion. This is my life's work. I'm training since I'm 4 years old. I'm 25 years now training jiu-jitsu. I plan on having this belt a long time.
So going up from UFC BJJ 1, the first ever, all three, the first event, the first match, the first finish, jumping right into the Bantamweight title 135 belt, being the main event against Mikey. That was gonna be meant to be. What I can say about him is, one of the best, and that is exactly why I'm here, to try to face one of the best for that opportunity. Just want to make sure that we put on a good show. there's that entertainment, there's that showcase factor of just performance. I would rather lose than ever win just trying to stall and go slow. So definitely that leans into my headspace, and that I feel like definitely makes me more unique. I feel like the preparation and the mental going forward into the match, what I feel like I have an upper hand in is just that underdog feeling of I don't have anything to lose. He, of course, has more to lose, but I also know that probably doesn't affect him. So me walking onto the mat, what I'm going to be definitely trying to deliver for the crowd, the people who are going to be watching, and for UFC BJJ themselves as a new era, I want to call it, of people showcasing their jiu-jitsu is a special moment for me. I'm definitely going to go on there, walking onto the bowl, stepping in, regardless if it was Mikey or if it was somebody else for the title fight, same approach, getting in there and leaving it all on the mat. I never grew up as a kid being like, hey, I want to be a UFC BJJ champ. It just happened, and then, you know, the spotlight's on me, so definitely just sit back and I want you guys to enjoy the show.
I'll give you fair warning, beware, beware.
Challenger for the main event, Keven Carrasco, 26 years old, from Sacramento, California. So when I first saw the poster with my face on it for the main event, I couldn't even believe it. I didn't even recognize myself. He said, I'm never going to get used to seeing my name in lights. I'm a simple kind of guy. But Michael, that might work in his favor tonight, not caught up in the moment facing Mikey Musumeci.
Yeah, he's very humble, but he said he knew that he would face Mikey sooner or later. So he's been drilling with a lot more awareness and presence in his preparation. He feels that he can push more. He did all the mental work and he did all the scenario-based training. Just needs to get in a groove and frustrate Mikey, making it a more physical match.
And that's what he has to do. He's got to make this as physical, because competitors who've tried to compete and exchange technique for technique with Mikey have all failed. He's going to try to go out there and see if he can't be more physical and get Mikey out of his game and find an opportunity and an opening by getting Mikey out of his game. And I think that's the right way to approach this, especially with the rules of UFC BJJ. You got to go out there, see if you can't get Mikey to start making mistakes just by being physical and being mean and being aggressive, to see if that works for him.
Well, and he's sending a message telling him to beware, because he's walking out to beware by Big Pun right now.
Keven Carrasco getting a chance at the title here tonight. Here comes the champ, Mikey Musumeci, the 29-year-old, originally from New Jersey, now calls Henderson, Nevada home. He's got his game face on. Said he went through the hardest training camp ever. He is a guy who trained with guys at 190 pounds to be ready here for the Bantamweight division. That's 30, 40-pound difference. He said, now coming back to my weight class, I feel so much stronger here tonight.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on him because he is one of the faces of modern Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and for good reason. He's a polarizing figure. Love him or hate him, though, you can't deny his brilliance on the mat.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he's so proficient with his techniques. The attention to detail is unparalleled. And he said in this fight, in this match, he plans to have an attack every minute of every round of this fight, as long as it takes for him to get the job done and get the submission. Mikey Musumeci is pound for pound the best player in jiu-jitsu right now.
As his name grows, he continues to get more opportunities. Was recently in Hawaii, stayed at the home of Mark Zuckerberg. He was training with him in jiu-jitsu. As Mikey Musumeci said, he is so grateful for everything that has come his way so far. Getting ready here for our final match of the night, the championship here in the Bantamweight division. This tail of the tape is fueled by Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. It is Musumeci, the older of the two, but Carrasco has the slight height advantage by 2 inches. Both Americans vying for the title as Musumeci gets ready for his first title defense. Let's go to Justin
Ladies
Bernard.
and gentlemen, this is the main event set for 3 rounds, all for the UFC BJJ Bantamweight Championship of the World. Presented by Fight ID. Ready for next level fandom? Claim your Fight ID now to experience the ultimate fan rewards. Follow Fight ID on X or visit fight.id. Introducing to you first in the blue corner, weighing in officially at 135 pounds. Out of Aries, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Goodyear, Arizona, Keven Carrasco. And now introducing his opponent in the red corner, weighing in officially at 134 pounds. Out of Boops Garage and Cobrinha, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Las Vegas, Nevada. He's the undisputed UFC BJJ Bantamweight Champion of the World, Mikey Darth Rigatoni Musumeci. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
First round, you ready? You ready? Let's start.
Here we go. The main event is underway. Mikey Musumeci in the black and the red. Keven Carrasco, the challenger, in the blue. Michael, what are we seeing from the champ here? What is this?
He wasn't kidding when he's talking about Cobra Kai. He's looking for that crane kick.
No, so what he's doing is when he lands, he's going to already have a bite on the leg. And that makes it almost impossible for him to not end up in the position that he wants when he pulls guard.
Yeah, it's not showmanship. It's not gamesmanship. Like I said, there's so much attention to detail with this technique.
Again, you see how it is? So as soon as he lands, he's going to land with that hook.
Carrasco trying to stay out of harm's way while looking for the pass here.
And you see when Keven engaged in Mikey's guard, you see how low he was staying, not giving Mikey any space to get into those leg entanglements. But right now he's just trying to work from the outside.
One of the things Keven Carrasco told us that he's going to try to do tonight, he said, I got to be able to push and shove to get Mikey out of his comfort zone here tonight.
Well, now Mikey's in his comfort zone because he's got an underhook of Kevin's left leg with his right arm. Now he's trying to lock his hands. He's going to elevate Keven. And now you see he's really starting to get a bite on these legs.
And this is where Keven did a really good job of just avoiding that entanglement. See, but that's the thing with Mikey's game is it's pretty predictable. And the only way around it is just to avoid him at all costs, but then you can't win by avoiding.
No, you have to engage in him at some point. The few people that have had success against Mikey Musumeci have been people that have been able to pass his guard, but that is so hard. I mean, it's almost impossible.
I mean, you almost have to have a size advantage to put enough weight on him. And he needs another good bite on the leg here. See how he puts his head up against the foot? Now it's going to make it even harder for Keven to get his foot out of there.
He might be looking for Mikey lock, as he calls it. I'm pretty sure he's got his own submission. He's got his own name for it. That's when you know you're good, when you have your own name for a submission that is widely regarded. That is what it's named. You've named your own move.
And everybody agrees.
Yes. Well, when you're Mikey Musumeci, who's going to disagree? I mean, the guy's one of the best ever right now, currently the best guy.
Here he goes.
He's got a lock on it. I'm gonna have it. He got him.
He got him.
The tap as Mikey Musumeci.
He got him.
In his first title defense, holds on to the Bantamweight belt.
I mean, just, again, so difficult to deal with. Because the only way you deal with it is to avoid them, so you have to engage. And when you engage, you leave something behind. And in this case, Keven Carrasco left his foot behind, and Mikey just bit it, attacked it, and finished him.
Yeah, that was nasty. I mean, Mikey just, the way he is able to pummel and chain his attacks together once he gets into those leg entanglements, it's nasty. And it caught us off guard because the tap was fast. We're all kind of blown back. Did that really just happen? But it did.
He said it. He verbally said it.
It was a verbal tap. We heard it, yeah.
He was locked up and actually tapped.
All right, this replay is brought to you by Hayabusa, honoring jiu-jitsu, your dedication, and your journey. All right, Michael, walk us through the finish.
And look at the way he locks his hands. Once he gets his hands locked under the left leg of Keven Carrasco, that is where he's able to elevate Keven to create space for him to get into these leg entanglements. And once he gets in right here, it's this position here. I have a teammate of mine that trains extensively with Mikey Musumeci, and he said when you get caught in this submission, it feels like he's gonna break your whole foot immediately. And look at the way, and look at the torque on the knee, plus the Mikey lock. Let's listen to the verbal tap right now.
Yes. To the neck, yes, 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 yes.
Let's go back inside to Justin Bernard to make this one official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission and still UFC BJJ Bantamweight Champion of the World, Mikey Darth Rigatoni Musumeci.
Took until the third round to get the submission to win the belt originally, but now he wins it here in this first round.
I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm with your winner, Mikey Musumeci. You get the job done with your own submission, the Mikey lock. How proud of you are you of your performance?
I want to dedicate this performance to Tylenol. It's a great supplement.
Okay, then. Mikey, you keep making history here at UFC BJJ. You were the first ever athlete signed to this organization. You've defended your title twice. What do you make of the history you continue to keep building on?
Yeah, so the position I hit in the match was called the Mikey lock. I call it, it's just a heel hook on the neck. Definitely some other people have done that in the past, but I feel like in this era, like I'm the guy hitting it at the top level. So it's super cool to hit a move that I've named, so.
You told us earlier this week that there was a little bit of pressure in UFC BJJ 1, and you've continued to evolve because the pressure was off. How dangerous are you as you continue to go here at UFC BJJ, and what can we expect?
Yeah, so I just felt so much more calm tonight than last match. Last match, I was dying from the anxiety competing in the first one. And tonight, I was so much more calm. I had 2 teammates competing, Jalen and Kennedy. So we all did this together, you know, and expect from me to keep getting more and more comfortable. I'm an introvert person, and it takes me a while to get comfortable in an environment. But once I alter my homeostasis, I'm pretty good, so.
I would certainly say you're more than pretty good. Mikey, what do you want to do next year?
I just want to keep improving, getting better, and become the best version of myself every day. I just want to thank God. I'm nothing without him. And thank you guys so much for coming and supporting our event. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, let's go back to training and on to the next one.
Do you have a name?
Not really. Someone cool that would be fun to have a match with is Joel Meow. We competed like so many years ago, and it would be cool for us to have another match. I think that would be a cool name if I was able to choose someone.
Well, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, and still, your winner, Mikey Musumeci.
Congratulations to the 29-year-old Mikey Musumeci in his first title defense. The belt is still wrapped around his waist. He is so genuine, so likable because he is authentically himself. And he is clearly the face here of UFC BJJ, Dean.
And he's never changed for anybody. Like, even when jiu-jitsu started to become a meathead sport, he made it cool to be yourself and to be kind of a, quote-unquote, a nerd. And that's what kind of spawned this new generation of jiu-jitsu players, to be yourself and just be good on the mat. And he's been exceptional at that. And I want to give him a lot of credit for spawning this generation of Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Well, and not to mention, too, he's just a great ambassador for the sport. I mean, he's very humble, very welcoming to his fans. And his MO is not to bolster himself, but to bolster the sport. He wants to make the sport better. He wants the sport to progress. And he's just a great ambassador for the sport. And he's a great ambassador for this promotion, for UFC BJJ.
Even just thanking everybody in attendance here at the Apex for coming and supporting this third event, UFC BJJ 3, just shows what he is all about. All right, we saw some really impressive performances, some really high-level submissions. Michael, I want to know who you really liked. Who's your standout performance here tonight?
Without a bias, I got to give it up to my guy, Andy Varela. Andy Varela with just a vintage performance. The gamesmanship, him bullying his opponent, making it physical. He takes the back. Look at this beautiful elbow pass. Shucks him by. Gets to the back of Daniel Sathler. Gets the body triangle. Gets the choke. Just a vintage Andy Varela performance. It's good to see him right the wrongs, right the ship, get back in the win column and get one of his patented rear naked choke finishes. Shout out to my guy, Antonio Varela.
Yeah, I really liked what Andy Varela did. And in victory, he actually showed some humility in his post-fight interview. I thought it was great. Andy Varela is the man for that tonight.
All right, Dean, you know, you're up next. We got to see who is your favorite performance of the night.
Opening up the night. And this has been one of my favorite guys to watch, and that is Keven Carrasco. He opened up the night, starting off with an early guard pull, getting to work right away against a guy who was even bigger than him. Then, as you see him in this leg entanglement, going for the lock, and then he gets heel exposure on this inside heel hook, causing Pedro Nakano to tap. Keven Carrasco, to me, you make a 125-pound division, I don't know who beats this kid. He is an absolute jiu-jitsu machine. I can't wait to see more of him.
Yeah, he's young, he's confident, he trains with the champ. He is the complete package. I think we got to make a belt for the Fly Guys, fellas.
He called it out. That's what he said. He said 125, let's make a new division. Let's see if Keven Carrasco will get his wish in the future. Fellas, it was fun as always.
It's been a pleasure, boys.
Hey, give me some love,
boys.
This
event just continues to grow. The biggest card we have ever had. 2 belts on the line tonight, and both champs retaining their belt at the end of the night.
Absolutely. It was incredible. It's just a great event. And there's one more person I want to give a shout out to. That's Jansen Gomez. He might have not got the finish, but to me, for him to come in here, put the gi down, and make the waves that he did in a great match, and a big rivalry match for him, and get the win. This is a big player when we decide to make a middleweight title. This guy's going to be a contender.
Yeah, I mean, just what we saw tonight, just the momentum of what the UFC BJJ is doing. I can't wait to the next event, and then next year, full of events. Mayordomo tonight was also fantastic. She almost was my pick tonight, but I still had to go with Keven Carrasco.
Yep.
Well, we already know when the next event is going to be. Mark your calendar, December 11th, UFC BJJ 4. It is coming back, and we don't have just one. We don't have just 2. We got 3 title championships on the line. It is going to be a fun event right back here in the Apex. And it's great to get the support. Thank you, everyone who has watched live on YouTube here tonight. All the gyms who have watch parties and have really helped this event grow to what it is. We are coming back for UFC BJJ 4, December 11th. You do not want to miss it. Fellas, an amazing job as always. For Dean Thomas, Michael Chiesa, Morgan Worth, I am John Schriffen. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this fun community that continues to grow. The next generation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu going down here inside the ball. Congratulations to the champs, Carlos Henrique, Michael Musumeci. They retain their titles. We'll be back here December 11th.